What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 32 of C4SVillains. I am your host JB, aka the Herald of Doom, and I am here with the Council of Villains and a very, very special guest. Up first, my boys Abe and Steve, and our special guest, the King of Games himself, Ray Apollo. How you guys doing today?
Hey, you already know the vibes. New place, baby. We out here. You know, the twist, I'm looking good. I got the shades on. I'm not, as y'all can tell, it's not real
crispy.
Shit. Yeah, as the King of Games said, I'm looking like the black squirrel, baby, with twisties. It was good.
I thought those shades was for Doc Ock. I thought that's what
that's probably what it was for initially, but I was like, that's
it was just because I was playing with filters. I'm like, this shit look good, but I'm down with that. I'm down with either one. This is Son of Dark Side. Shout out to Doc Ock for real.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
My heart, boy. But no, thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
Of course.
I love talking about this. You like literally picked the perfect week for stuff for me to talk about because I'm hype about every single thing that we want to talk about for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. God, it's so good. It's so
Amen
good.
to that. Amen to that.
It's all honestly. So good. I'm excited about all of it. I want to talk about the Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah. Did the stream freeze?
Yeah, we freeze.
No, the stream didn't freeze. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I
never freeze.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the Midnight Suns trailer. Then we're going to be talking about the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. We're going to be breaking down that entire thing. And then we're going to finish off the show reviewing What If Episode 3. What if we lost our Mightiest Avengers? So I can't wait to talk about all of these amazing topics. So let's just dive straight into it. Ray, I want to kick it to you first. And let's talk about that new Marvel's Midnight Suns trailer that came out during Gamescom.
Look, so this was a game that's been rumored for a hot minute, and we were like, when are they going to drop it? They're like, hey, there is a game from 2K that's XCOM-like, that's Marvel-based. And I was like, excuse me? So you mean to tell me there is an XCOM game with Marvel characters? You know me, sign me all the way up because I'm about the tactical RPGs, all for it. Firax is actually like spearheading it. And then Gamescom rolls around and we're like, what? Okay. And they roll out Midnight Suns. Like we had heard them, we didn't know it was Midnight Suns, but god dang. I'm like, okay, so you got Blade, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Magic, Robbie Reyes, Wolverine, Iron Man, Doctor Strange. I think Psylocke even. Like this cast is nuts. And I'm like, I'm sure they could add more people in that. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait. Because like just a game like this where you get to have all those powers work in synergy together. Bro, if you've played XCOM, this is going to be noise. Coming out March 2022, apparently. We don't, games slip all the time now. So
yeah,
it'll be out next year.
And even then, will it be actually playable when it's released?
So I will say Firaxis games too, like this studio, I have not had an issue with it. Well, they made a trash game recently, but I feel like that was like the C team. So I feel like they wouldn't give a game like this to anything less than their best team. So here's hoping. But no, it looks real good. What was y'all's favorite part of the trailer? Did y'all all see the trailer?
Yeah. Me, it was just because I was unfamiliar with the Midnight Sun storyline. I didn't know that was an actual storyline until the trailer came out and I read an article and I was like, oh, so they're actually going to give us an actual comic book run in video game format. and the whole thing dealing with Lilith and hell and demons, I was like, oh, sign me up, baby. So, probably this weekend I'm going to read those issues, but it just made me more hyped that we're going to get a game that actually had a legit plot, especially that a comic book game like this one. Because when I first saw it as well, I was like, oh, y'all already ready to drop another Marvel's game when, Avengers, y'all didn't start off hot with that.
I think that's what everybody was like, another Marvel game?
Yeah,
when that Marvel's Avengers game didn't really hit into this Wakanda expansion?
Yeah,
okay.
Like y'all gotten better with the Marvel Avengers game, but it's just like, y'all could have given us heat from the beginning. And so I was a bit like, but it got me excited. And especially when I was reading the article, that new character that, people didn't recognize, the Hunter, that's who you get to be, and you get to customize your powers and abilities. And I'm like, you got me sold. I love customization. I really do.
Especially when you're in those universes, bro.
Blade is in the cut. Doctor Strange, Wolverine, Nico from Runaways.
Hey,
look, baby.
Them costumes?
They
legit, like, no pun intended, but yeah, they straight up fire. Like, goodness gracious.
Yeah. And again, I get to see a version of Lilith, in the Marvel universe. Like, baby, let's get it.
Yeah, for me, the favorite part of the trailer was just everything with Robbie Reyes, man. Like, Robbie Reyes, and then when Blade shows up, like, their designs are incredible.
They're really good.
I'm gonna be honest, out of all the Ghost Riders, and I'll give Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this, Robbie Reyes has become the only one that I recognize as my Ghost Rider. Like, look, oh boy, I even forgot his name, but Nicolas Cage, what you did with
Johnny Blaze.
Boy, Johnny Blaze, cool, but Robbie Reyes is the Ghost Rider that I want in the MCU. It's the Ghost Rider that I want to have stories with, because he's just much more interesting. They've done a better job of making Robbie Reyes a character that you can get behind and that you can like, yo, I want to learn more. So having him in a video game, I'm like, bet that, let's get it.
I mean, I'll be frank. He drives a car. I'm way more about that. Like, bikes are cool, bro, but he got a whole ass car. He's like, hold up.
Bikes are overrated, low key.
Let me literally ghost ride the whip real quick.
Right? And that drone looks sexy as hell in all black with the fire. Hell yeah, baby.
And the graphics as well. I was really impressed with the graphics of the game.
It does look really good. I just watched the trailer. It looks good as
doesn't it?
Yeah.
And Breeze brought up the song. The song worked. Some people are like, I'm tired of them doing these. What is it? It's AC/DC songs from Marvel stuff. I'm like, but they work.
If it works, it works.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right? I was like, that was heat. I like that. So
it's gonna be RPG like X-Men Legends.
Not exactly. So it's gonna be more turn-based. So if you've ever seen like how do I bring that down? Kind of like a Final Fantasy. Like, except you get to move everybody independently.
Okay.
So you get to move all the characters. Like, you'll have your turn, and then the enemy team will have their turn. Like, you just move. It's like in motion chess. It is, man, they're so much fun. Just be ready to, like, when it tells you have a 99% chance to hit, to have that 1% chance when you miss happen way more often than you want. You'll be right in their face, point blank with a shotgun. 99% chance to hit and miss.
So I have a question. No pain. Because as I was doing research about Midnight Suns, they do have, it's a different team, but they are involved in Marvel Zombies.
Yes.
And my question is, we know we're getting a Marvel Zombies episode for What If? What if, a little cameo, a little tease, like...
Is the Mahershala Ali voice acting? Oh, that would...
So
why not, right? He's already under contract.
Exactly. What you just said, I'm hoping is we get that Mahershala and we maybe get a Moon Knight cameo.
God, please.
Maybe.
That would be, I don't think we're going to get anybody that we haven't seen in the Marvel Universe already, but that would be sick.
listen, I got to see Thanos. I got to see Thanos as a Ravager, so anything's possible.
Right?
Because right now, they said that we'll have 12 to 13 playable characters, but the roster so far is Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Wolverine, Cap,
Why is
Magic.
Wolverine there? I'm sorry. Why is Wolverine?
Yeah, it's like everybody.
Because He's a
because they were like, hey, which X-Men? Everybody like, oh yeah, the one with the claws. Put him in there.
The one with the claws.
Out of all the X-Men you can involve, because they were like, oh yeah, we went for more magic / monstrous type creature.
Storm in there before I put Wolverine. Oh yeah, that's just me. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it would have been a great time to give us a really good Storm, because as you guys know, where I stand on the Storm versus Wonder Woman debate, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, we get Magic, we get Nico, we get Captain Marvel, we get Blade, and of course the playable character, the Hunter. So far, it's going to be very exciting. You know, I'm hyped for it. I just hope that they learn their lessons. Even though it's not the same studio, same company, but I hope that they learned lessons from how Marvel Avengers was rolled out.
I mean, but see, you still got that taste in your mouth, though, not just with that studio, but with the franchise, and that's bad. Yeah, that's bad. They gotta fix that.
Yeah, because I mean,
this is their chance to really turn it around.
The general gamers, I mean, they're not really paying that much attention to who's making the games. It's like, oh, it's a Marvel game.
You know it was bad, so all of the Marvel games were good. But I'm like, how y'all make the Spider-Man games look bad? How dare you?
Because everybody was hype about Miles Morales. Everybody was loving it. It had people like, they had people like, yo, give us more. And then they came out with Marvel's Avengers, and people were like, oh, never mind. Marvel can't do it.
Never mind.
And it's like, well, you know, it's not really the same creators that, you know, it's not their fault, but it's like, nah, you know.
But like James said, the regular folks, they don't know that. They think video games all come from the same store.
Right? Yeah, man, but I'm extremely excited to play this. Like I said, the graphics look amazing. I'm excited to play as all these characters, especially like Wolverine's design. Like his costume design looks incredible in the trailer as well. Iron Man's costume as well at the end of the trailer when they're all walking. Like
that last final walk was like flame.
Sick, wasn't it?
Sick.
And see, I did it with no sound, so at the end of this, I'm gonna watch.
You gotta watch it with the song. With the song, it's just like even more hype. It's great.
I was like, I know that walkout had to be some.
Oh yeah, whenever you have that, you already know that the soundtrack, the music is gonna be busted. You can't waste a moment like that. An epic walkout like that, yeah, it has to be busted.
But yeah, no, I was surprised when I saw this, but also just very excited, based on just the games that I played from that studio, and because it's Midnight Suns. I never thought we would get a Midnight Suns anything outside of like a cartoon. So
yeah, same. But yeah, I mean, Marvel is just doing everything right now, and who can blame them, right? Like you have the characters expand on the universe, you know?
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
But it is time. I don't want to wait any longer. Let's get into our breakdown of the Spider-Man No Way Home official teaser. I did not think we would get this much in the teaser, but this was a really good teaser. This just shows like how much shit we're going to see in this movie. So the trailer begins with Peter and MJ on top of this rooftop, and there's a bunch of graffiti everywhere. And if you look behind them, there is a piece of graffiti that says Ditko. As you guys know, Steve Ditko is very ingrained in Marvel Comics and has done many stories about Spider-Man and Doctor Strange in particular. So this is this is a great Easter egg right at the top of the beginning of the trailer. And then we see him and MJ web slinging throughout the entire city. I assume running from the cops because they're after him after, you know, they heard his identity. And then like we see the newspaper, right? And if you look at the newspaper really well, it's Peter, MJ, and Ned drawn on the front of that newspaper. So I thought that was really, really cool. So let's just dive into the trailer. Like, let's talk about your favorite moments from that trailer. And what did you guys think?
First of all, thanks to Mephisto for getting the trailer, you know, launched. So thank you, Mephisto. I appreciate you.
Honestly,
it's Mephisto again.
He did it. He told us in WandaVision that he was going to release this trailer on the 23rd. Right?
He did.
I appreciate you.
To be fair, like I told you guys on the last episode, No Way Home seems to be slowly, potentially taking from One More Day, which is a Spider-Man comic book story where Spider-Man gets Mephisto to change history, to change certain events. So
we're getting Mephisto all over.
It's Mephisto all along.
It's already started. It's been
started. When he was walking, and then you see the devil in disguise, and somebody in the comments was like, Mephisto. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm like, stop it,
bro. I mean, for me, anybody who knows me when it comes to the Spider-Man movies knows that my favorite character from the Rami run was Green Goblin, because I love William Dafoe.
Yes.
Dafoe is one of my favorite actors, you know. And if like I mentioned beforehand in the pregame, I saw the pumpkin bomb and I was like, but I didn't think that they would give us Dafoe. I was just like, all right, we're gonna get a version, maybe Hobgoblin or a new Green Goblin. But when they showed Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, I was like, okay. And then JB, it was your tweet where you isolated those 6 seconds and you were like, did you guys hear it? And I'm like, no, I didn't hear it. Listen to that, I was like, that's all I needed. That's all I needed. All I
Willem
need to know is that
Dafoe's
Dafoe
super
gonna
creepy
be that
laugh.
bitch.
Oh my god, so sick.
Because Tom Holland is not ready for either of these niggas, yo. He's not ready for Dafoe to pull up.
Leave Tom alone. They gonna pull up and be like, what's up, Peter? He gonna be like, I don't even know who you are.
Look, I've been tweeting about it for a couple days. I need that Green Goblin terrorizing Aunt May scene. I need Kevin Feige to have that job reenacted. I need that. And force her to finish finish the Lord's Prayer. I need that scene.
Finish it.
I need that scene.
Y'all leave my other wife Aunt May alone, okay?
Hey. Green Goblin don't care. You know? He about to bust up in her place. She gonna be mid-prayer.
We all know he gonna get hands anyway, so I ain't worried.
I mean, after he gave the way. All right, first of all, don't make me go back and rewatch Spider-Man once.
I actually do.
Dafoe was messing with
you
Peter
can go.
Parker.
I mean, listen, Toby.
Hey!
Don't mess with the Peter Tingle. Don't mess with the Peter Tingle.
Hey, look, Tom Holland hasn't been mind fucked like Dafoe will. Let's say, hey, just say.
He just had his identity exposed.
Mephisto, you gonna say Mephisto? I heard you about to do it again. You have a Mephisto on the brain.
I meant to say Mysterio. Mysterio, did his thing, but hey.
And what's crazy, Mysterio was mind fucking him enough. So
Mysterio messed him up. I'm gonna be real.
Since we're talking about Mysterio, do you think he's actually dead? I don't.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter because we'll get a version of him anyway. It's just a matter of this. Are they going to play it off like, oh yeah, that was an inferior version of me that she messed with?
At this point, I have a feeling that he did know about the multiverse and he knew that he would come back anyway.
He mentions it.
Yeah,
but then I'm pretty sure that was
from a script.
That was a joke.
Yeah,
but there might have been some truth in it.
I've always thought there was truth.
I was about to say what's clever about this is the only time they mention the multiverse in the other phase is in Doctor Strange and in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Now the only two people that are here in the first multiverse episode or whatever.
In the first official film of Phase 4, because let's be real, Black Widow, yes, it counts as Phase 4, but it's not really a Phase 4 film.
It's not. I'm sorry, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. So as the first official one, it's so fitting, and that's why even before we were getting this, and we knew that like we would explore the multiverse eventually, I always thought that Mysterio knew.
He knew something. If anything, he knew something.
And even though the movie played off like, I was like,
because even down to the thing where I'm like, I think he was just playing his part.
Yeah,
literally. He knew what he had. He's
the type of villain who would do that, and it would work.
Because it's like, well, then he would know that Doctor Strange will only do this for Peter.
So, another question. So we know WandaVision technically is taking place while Far From Home is happening, right?
Is it?
Well, Far From Home is like 8 months after Endgame.
It's after the snap.
And WandaVision is only a couple weeks after Endgame.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay. Well, then if that's the case, because they have the snap inside of WandaVision, so that's live on TV. They can see the witches and stuff with WandaVision. And from what I saw on the YouTube trailer or whatever, on my review Easter egg thing, I saw when JB Smoove says, they was like, what do you think it is? And JB Smoove actually says, witches. I think it's witches. So if that's 8 months after, in Far From Home, that means that it was broadcast about Wanda and Agatha.
I'm sure people that was news.
People know, yeah.
I'm sure because at this point you would think. Well, I mean, think about it. To the public, Wanda's still kind of like a weird hero, not hero again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So,
because we had her after Ultron, she was viewed a certain way, and then the Sokovia Accords.
And then this happens, and they see what she did. Yeah.
I mean, she should have gotten a part in Bucky.
I mean, she was there. You saw how people
you would think
Bucky,
that she did, but I
mean,
Falcon
and Winter Soldier,
they
you saw how
Bucky to
people
a whole nother continent, bro. They was like, get your ass out of here. You pardon, but get out of here.
I feel it's so weird because it's like that, like you said, it's definitely the one day thing. So I don't want to be on this bandwagon, but I'm feeling Mephisto.
So I'm going to put it on the record that I don't think that Mephisto has any part of this. And if
I don't
if
either.
anything, they're gonna do you Trefor again. They're gonna do it, and you're gonna be so mad, and I'm gonna laugh.
I just don't feel like you're gonna get Mephisto and Kane.
Nah.
As fun as Mephisto is, the person.
Have they confirmed the villain for Doctor Strange's movie?
Not yet.
Well, we know Nightmare is.
So there might be a chance that he might be a villain in Doctor Strange, but on a small level. He might just be Doctor Strange.
Because we're getting Nightmare. Yeah. It would make sense to at least have a connection to Mephisto. But y'all know who the one there's like two Marvel characters that I'm riding for. It's basically the Beyonder and Doctor Doom. That's all I care about. So Mephisto's exciting.
I'm sorry. I'm more excited about my boy Baron Mordo than I am about those two. I'll be very frank.
I
want to know what he's been doing. What's he been up to? Did he get snapped? Like what he been doing since then? Sir, I want to know.
I highly doubt it.
I need my Beyonder cameo. I need my Beyonder cameo at some point.
I think Mordo's gonna have a really big part in all of this, and I can't wait, bro. I can't wait.
Because now would be a good time to bring him back around.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it would be.
Like, hey, remember Steven when you fucked up before? Guess what? I'm back and I'm about to make it way worse. And I can't wait.
Because they did just kind of just stop discussing him. We just kind of
he was in the way. Well, it's because Steven didn't talk about him. He's the only person that knew about him. And I'm like, you got a dangerous sorcerer just out here. And you're like, no, we good.
he hasn't made moves. I mean, plus here's the thing too. I mean, Steven is arrogant. If Steven felt like,
it's true,
he was gonna be a problem, I would have handled it. He's like,
and that's probably that's probably what he was thinking. Exactly.
It's the arrogance. So let's talk about that, right? So we get the scene where Wong warns Steve not to use the spell,
literally,
and then he just winks, and he just winks at Peter like, "Yeah, I'm still gonna do it," and people are like, oh, this is so out of character for Doctor Strange. This is completely different. I'm like, no, he's still an arrogant asshole. This dude became a surgeon so that he can play God. Now he is the Sorcerer Supreme. Not just that, the most powerful Sorcerer Supreme in all of history. Because remember, the Ancient One says that Strange is supposed to be the most powerful of all of us, period. Right? So you give that guy that kind of power, his arrogance only rises. It's like, of course.
I feel like a lot of people kind of like glaze over that because they didn't really play up his ego when he was with Tony Stark, because they wanted Tony Stark to have the ego trip. They wanted to keep that going. But no, Doctor Strange and Tony Stark, they butt heads all the time because their egos are huge. And I'm like, so that just that's kind of on the movie characterization. I just didn't have time. I get it, but like, no. Stephen Strange, top tier asshole. Straight up.
There's so many people that was saying that too, and I was just like, I don't even read as much as I should, and I know this. I was like, Doctor Strange is literally just that big of a dickhead. Like,
I mean, it's just humans, right? Like, no one changes that quickly. Like, that's an innate trait of Stephen Strange, and now you've given him omnipotent power.
I got magic, bro. I'm a fool.
People. There was the Doctor Strange run from maybe 2018, 2019. It was when they started their new era, not the current era that we're in, but after I think it was the events.
Marvel Now.
No, I think it was that the events following the Infinity Gauntlet run, Infinity Wars.
I'm pretty sure it was after. Yeah,
I think it was. It was after, definitely.
Okay, so there was a Doctor Strange run. I was reading it, and in the beginning, it was when Doctor Strange basically lost his powers, his connection to magic, and then he met up with Tony and went to space. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just read that. Yeah, just read that first issue, and you can tell that arrogant. He didn't want to seek help from Iron Man at all.
Nobody likes to go ask Tony for help.
Yeah,
Tony's an asshole.
Yeah, he was just
tell you. He's gonna remind you.
He went through as many different avenues to try to find his magic. He's like, shit, I guess I gotta go to Tony. And Tony was like, oh, you can't. He's like, never mind. It's like, yo, the two most arrogant beings in the Avengers, the two most, I wouldn't say most arrogant characters in Marvel Universe, because we got a lot of arrogant folks. But in terms of the heroes,
amongst Reed and Hank Pym and
yeah.
Doom, and you got a lot. And Namor,
Pym is pretty arrogant.
And Namor himself is probably the most arrogant. I would put him at like top 2. And Black Panther used to be up there too.
T'Challa is still up there. I don't care what anybody say.
Yeah, I don't know about this new T'Challa.
This T'Challa was also still arrogant. He's got a sweet side, but he's still arrogant.
Yeah, because Christopher Priest is my favorite writer in terms of what he did with T'Challa. Because that T'Challa said, I've said it before and I'll say it again. That T'Challa was like, I'm only here to see if y'all gonna fuck with my country. And if y'all are, then I'm gonna whoop y'all ass. If y'all not, then I don't really care. Like, oh, we would love for you to team up. I ain't say all that.
He was going through his own stuff, and that's what it was.
You know, but yo, this John is just people saying that Doctor Strange wouldn't do this. I don't know what version of Doctor Strange you've been watching. I don't know if we've been watching the same films, the same MCU movies. I don't know if you got your John bootlegged from Indonesia.
Stop it.
I'm just saying, maybe it was 41, 42, 43. I don't know what y'all was watching.
I can't stand.
But Doctor Strange is arrogant enough to do this. Whether it's Mephisto or not, Doctor Strange is arrogant enough to do it. He's the type of person where you tell him not to do something, he's going to be like, do you not know who I am? I'm the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
I am the person everybody must go to when it comes to magic. Like, I'm going to do this shit. And let's keep in mind, as he did the spell, it wasn't him who acted up. It was Peter. Like, hey.
So let's get into that. Let's get into that. What did you guys think about that scene? Because there is one thing that I want to break down. Because during that scene, it's really, really choppy and cut up, right? Mm-hmm. We see a lot of colors. I think this is Marvel's Speed Force moment. This is where we'll see Tobey Maguire's version of Alfred Molina. This is where we'll see a different version of Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. This is where we get to see a different version of Jamie Foxx's Electro. And then something happens that brings them all to this. Because how the spell is supposed to work, it's taking elements from a universe where people didn't know the identity of Spider-Man and replacing it in this universe. So I thought that was an interesting way of doing it to begin with. And then we get that scene. So that's what I think. This is the Speed Force moment where we're going to get to see so many different things from possible futures, from alternate realities. So what did you guys think about Peter fucking up the spell and what that scene could potentially show us?
It was typical Peter Parker, Tom Holland, Peter Parker. It was right in line. It made perfect sense that he would be the one to mess it up just like this. Because, I mean, you've seen in Far From Home just how overwhelmed he can get, you, how much he just babbles and whatnot. This is perfect. He's like, oh, yeah, you're racist. He's like, wait. Does that mean MJ wouldn't know and all the memories he had wouldn't count? Like, we're in a good place now. Like, hold on, do I have to restart? Like, it made sense. But then, he's the overthinker.
That's Peter Parker.
I mean, keep in mind how old he is.
He's the over-under thing, because I'm like, okay, well, that also means that all the Avengers won't remember you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, bro.
That's why it's so funny to me that we got Molina was just like, hello, Parker, and just automatically knew. Technically, it shouldn't be that way.
Well,
but he knows.
The thing is, he does say hello, Peter, but this is the kick. We don't know who he's talking to. He could be talking to Tobey Maguire.
We don't know what's. We
technically have no idea who he's talking to.
Or he could be talking to all the Peters standing right in front of him.
I haven't given too much thought to the idea that Andrew Garfield and Tobey, because, people are like, oh, yeah, I'm like, I'll wait on that. And I don't need it anymore because I'm getting Dafoe and Molina. That's all I need. So I'm content if we're just dealing with Tom Holland, but to answer your question, it was very in line. And so I wasn't surprised. I liked it. It was perfect. It made the most sense.
Same. Big hard agree.
I think we're going to see them in the movie, but they're not in it, if that makes sense. Like, I
Mhm.
think we're going to see them in like the Speed Force moment thing that I was
Yeah.
talking about. We might get
Yeah.
glimpses of them here and there, but that's something you save for actual Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Right? If you're going to do the next big event, which is what it looks like we're going to, and remember, the Russo brothers said the only way they'll come back is if Marvel makes a Secret Wars movie, and we are on that track. So if you're going to do that, you wait until Secret Wars. You tease it in this, and you form the Sinister Six based on versions of these characters that we've seen before. So I think we'll see the Sinister Six in this movie, but as far as them being there, like fighting the rest of them, nah, I don't see that happening.
And who have I been advocating for weeks, for months? Give me the Beyonder. All right, but here's the question:
Hmm.
who will be all the members of the Sinister Six? We know that Vulture
So
is in the cut.
Vulture, Scorpion, Sandman, Electro, Doc Ock, and
Green Goblin.
And Green Goblin.
You did, yeah. Okay, so we haven't.
Yeah,
we
so
haven't
that's
met
our six.
Scorpion yet, right?
Yeah, we have.
We met him in Homecoming.
We've met him. We've met him, but Peter hasn't met him.
Right. Yeah,
Oh,
we met
was
him
it
at the
in
end of Homecoming in the prison.
he was at the very end.
Oh, with the and when
With
we went
Vulture.
to Vulture in the prison. Okay, yeah.
But okay, so does that mean, because I feel like we saw Lizard,
Yeah,
Lizard.
there's potentially he's in there as well.
Yeah.
I feel like, so if that's the case, then do we know our six? Because you also said you don't think Mysterio is dead.
Yeah, but
You
I
see
mean,
what I'm saying?
yeah, but
Mysterio
if
doesn't
they
need to
do
be
bring
part
him
of the
back, I
six,
don't
though.
think they'll bring him back for this
Yeah.
one. But
Yeah,
the
no.
Sinister Six, I think we'll see in this. Doc Ock, Electro, Sandman, maybe Lizard, Green Goblin. Who else did I miss?
Vulture.
And Vulture, and then Scorpion's in there too. So it all depends on who they might pick. But yeah, I think that we're definitely going to get the Sinister Six, like something towards that.
What
towards
I
the
mean,
end of the
they could probably make a joke like the Sinister Seven. That doesn't sound good, and then one of them gets murdered
movie.
by the other. And it's like, now we're the Sinister Six.
It'd be Green
dope.
Goblin to
It'd
kill
be
him.
Green Goblin to do it. That would be
would.
dope.
Before
That
we
would
do
be
it.
really dope.
It's like, what do we call ourselves? The Sinister Seven? And he goes, and he just like, probably kills
Sinister
Electro.
Six sounds
The
better.
Sinister Six sounds better.
He throws a pumpkin
this
bomb that
name.
completely like disintegrates him.
Yep.
I'm
That'd
gonna
be
venture
hilarious.
this name. What about? Would you not want to see Craven the Hunter?
Craven?
We
what
won't
is it?
because they're making a
In
Craven the
his-
Hunter
in his-
movie.
Yeah, he's in the
So we
Sony
won't see him
universe.
until they make the solo movie. And even then, I doubt he'll join the Sinister Six. I think they might turn him into an anti-hero, much like they're doing Venom. I don't see them. I don't see them doing
see
that.
that too. Mhm. Okay.
That's
I see
the
him.
one.
He's potentially going to be in there, like what I see as their Sony Midnight Suns type.
That's
of
the one I think.
Yeah.
I think Henry Cavill is going to be Craven the Hunter. That's what I
You
think.
think so?
I think that.
He
I
has
mean,
the
they already
build.
cast him.
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson is
There you go.
Craven the Hunter.
I was about to say, I'm
did.
like, not that I'm trying to be picky.
I did forget
like,
about the solo movie.
Cavill's just a little too built to be Craven. Like Craven big,
I mean,
but
is he
ain't Cavill
though?
big.
I was about to
Is he
say, I think that's perfect.
No,
It's pretty fitting
Henry could play him. It's not too
because he
far of a
doesn't
stretch.
have to be Superman big.
I'm being selfish because I want my Hyperion. I don't care.
That's fair.
But to
Or
JB,
Sentry. He could be Sentry too.
I
and
prefer
I'd be down
Sentry.
with it.
See,
But
I don't
I-
want him to play a Superman-like character though. Like, even
not?
though it would be a fuck you to DC, like
Why not?
we
Exactly.
got him.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
would be
guess.
perfect as Hyperion.
I'm
and
waiting-
You know it. He'd
I'm
be
waiting on
perfect
my
as Hyperion.
thoughts about Sentry until I see how they do Moon Knight. Because if they do Moon Knight well,
And you
I'll
know they
feel
will.
more confident about.
I'm about to say,
Sentry.
I don't think they can mess up Moon Knight. Like,
It's just more so just playing on the
and I say
aspect.
that based on how they did like the start of the Netflix shows alone.
Yeah,
I think they
know
can do
did.
Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have utmost confidence, but I'm still kind of cautious. I'm still kind of
I
cautious.
completely
But
understand because
I'm definitely confident.
if
So-
that leak is real, I'm hyped.
I'm
So
about
so
to
what
say
did
to-
you? Sorry,
to
go ahead,
your
Steve.
point when you were saying you don't think we'll see a Spider-Man, and you said you only see him in those little flashes. I'm with you on those little flashes, and then this just popped in my head at the end. That bridge scene where Tom Holland is fighting, and you kind of get the Green Goblin bomb, get Doc Ock. I think that's the very last scene of the movie.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the third act.
And when the bomb goes off, Tom Holland is webbed and saved. and then there's two other Spider-Mans there. Hello, Peter, in credits.
I mean, I you know what? I can see that because I'm like, all right, we're going into Multiverse of Madness. So this is the start of the multiverses collapsing. So I can absolutely see them coming in and then them not resolving it because cliffhanger. Like straight up. And then they'll be like, the Spider-Man will return in.
Yes, bro.
And
my God.
And then Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, you get Tom Holland guesting in that movie. But I could see, so what JB said, I don't think they're going to be in a movie. I think it'll be the very last scene. They rescue him from dying, and then it's all of a sudden you see all three.
I would love that too.
And then in movies out.
But there is one other Spider-Man that I think we'll definitely get to see, and that's Miles Morales. Because if you guys notice in the trailer, when Peter is wearing the black and gold suit, he's running through a feast facility.
Oh shit!
Yeah. I definitely saw that.
So I think Miles is working there at the feast facility.
Stop giving me Miles Easter eggs and teases. Just give us Miles. Just
especially after the trailer dropped, they said, "Oh well, we have stills for Enter Spider-Verse 2," and it's like, "Oh, I mean, we knew it was coming, but now your grade's gonna be there. Yeah. We've been working on it."
Could you imagine?
We'll let you know after No Way Home.
Could you imagine if it was the animated Miles getting pulled in and turns into like a person?
I mean, it's canon.
And they actually use
Into the Spider-Verse is canon.
Oh my God!
Why not?
Wouldn't that be sick?
That would be crazy, and
which
then
means
that would make that canon.
And then when Stacy comes back and Andrew Garfield is like, "My baby," is like, "I don't know you.
I was talking about this.
I killed you. I broke you. I don't know you." I'll be down for it.
Because I was talking about this with Mia, right? The multiverse of madness. We've seen so many different ways that that space time has been tampered with and like torn into, right? The snap happening 3 times causes the deviants to come back in the Eternals. We know that Spider-Verse is canon, so what Wilson Fisk did, that also messes with space-time. What Wanda did messes with space-time. So what Loki
it's all
and
messed up.
Sylvie did, it's all messing with space-time.
It's all messed up.
It's crazy, bro. So first off, what do you guys think about the black and gold suit? Because from toys, we know that it will allow Peter to use some of Doctor Strange's magic. So we know that from toys. But do you think it also doubles as like an anti-Ock armor that we saw in like the Spider-Man game? What do you guys think?
So I hope it pays homage to that because that armor's sick. So, but I think it's more so the Doctor Strange kind of infusion. Like it just infuses, the magic is gold. And so it's like, here you go. I was like, yep, I'm all about it. Like, please.
Black and gold is a great color
combination. Like especially on a Spider-Man suit.
It's just great.
I mean, Killmonger's suit was flames.
Yeah, it was.
The original Black Panther suit was flames.
Yeah,
like just black and gold just works.
The Gold Ranger.
The Gold Ranger. Yeah. The Black Zeo Ranger, bro.
Yeah. Elwick brings up something really, really interesting. What if it's anti-Electro?
I can see that.
Okay.
I mean, it could just be his Sinister Six suit.
Yeah, it really could be. Yeah.
And you just gotta fuck with everybody.
And it just works on everyone.
He's like, hey, there's 6 of them. It's one of you. I got to give you a little bit of an edge. You know what I'm saying?
That would make sense.
I would love that.
Oof, man, because we've been they teased the Sinister Six with Homecoming, and we've always wanted that. To get it now,
I just love Spider-Man movies, bro.
Yeah,
like, I'll be very honest. None of these Spider-Man movies, except for the one that we don't talk about, have let me down.
Of course. And then you mentioned this too, JB. You tweeted this earlier in the week, like. We have the utmost confidence that this will bang, but it will be our first ever perfect Spider-Man trilogy.
I'm not saying the word perfect, but damn good.
Fair enough.
I say that because the more I watch Homecoming and Far From Home, the more I love them.
Aren't they good?
They're incredible films.
Man, I just get tired of arguing with people about how good. I'm like, these are good movies. People are like,
wait, do people disagree?
Bro,
yeah, dude. Yeah. I had an entire conversation with someone on Twitter that's not a. So let's talk about that for a little bit before
I've talked with multiple people for years about how they don't like the new Spider-Man.
I understand the criticisms, right? Because when you look at Garfield Spider-Man, Tobey Spider-Man, because they existed in their own space, they had more characterization, right? In Homecoming, it was really more about Tony Stark giving him the suit. It was more him against someone that doesn't like Tony Stark. In Far From Home, Mysterio and his entire crew didn't like Tony Stark. Again, another suit made by Tony Stark. So some people feel like Tom Holland's Spider-Man hasn't really had a chance to be his own person, his own being. My argument to that is, look at Bucky, look at Sam, look at Wanda. It literally took years for us to get there, and it just works out like comics, man. It just takes a while for you to get to the point where you want for these characters. This is just his introduction into the MCU, and eventually we'll get to those points, but he's learning a lot. In this film alone, just from the trailer, we see that he's completely selfless. He's willing to do anything it takes to keep his friends and his family out of danger. We've seen the growth. So what do you guys think about that?
I mean, all I'm saying is, have y'all never had, an older brother or a sister or a parent that does a lot for you, and you kind of, in that shadow for a while? Yeah, bro. Do you not have family?
For me, because I remember, I know that people were talking about, how Toby was like the great iteration of Peter. Andrew was a good iteration of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But what I saw was always like, but Tom Holland was the
fusion of both. Yeah, absolutely.
And I will agree. I know a lot of people were complaining like, oh, they're centering around Tony Stark, but
he's also a kid. You got to remember.
Yeah, but the criticism that I saw regarding that was more so like they're upset with Marvel, not like they held it against Tom Holland, like you guys mentioned. They held it against Marvel, like, why are you centering around Tony Stark? Because I agree, Tom Holland has given me the ideal fusion of both. Like, I feel him as Peter and I feel him as Spidey. Like, it makes sense. He's done a great job. And I think the other thing that helped too is just that his age is more relatable. It's closer. Like, you can see him as a youngin.
Do you think, wouldn't it be a little bit more, I don't know, ridiculous if Tony Stark was helping the age that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was?
Doesn't work. It doesn't work.
And I'm like, y'all just want him to, be a grown-ass man. I'm like, he's a kid. Let him be a kid. But this is a kid with incredible responsibility.
So and then Andrew would kind of be too much of like a Tony clone in terms of personality. It'd just be like, oh,
so he would be like a true Tony fanboy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it wouldn't work.
But I like the dynamic because it really did give Spider-Man this like role model. Who was not a great role model, by the way. But like it was a really good like relationship, because this was Tony Stark being like, okay, I'm trying to build up the next generation to be better than me. And then also this kid navigating life as a kid with these powers and all this other crazy stuff going on.
I mean, I think it's great. You got to remember the Iron Man films themselves. What was a constant gripe between Tony and Pepper? It was the idea of family, the idea of like settling down.
Because his dad didn't love him.
Yeah. So then how do you properly like continue on with that? Give him Spider-Man, which forces him to be like, yo, I gotta be more responsible with my decisions, because we saw him start accepting responsibility following Ultron and the whole Sokovia Accords. And then him interacting with Spidey, he's like,
oh, but you know him. He
goes, kid.
To recorrect, he goes way too far the opposite direction.
Yeah, exactly. And so
a lot of extremes with Tony Stark.
The Tom Holland moment was dope. I mean, hey, Mr. Stark, I don't feel good.
Stop it.
You know how Tony felt? Like, I enjoyed that scene so much. I was like, yo, this is ideal. This is really tapping into Tony as a human being. You know how
sad I was? I'm still sad about that.
I know people cried.
I won't rewatch that movie, bro. Nope.
I didn't cry. I got hyped because of what it meant.
I definitely cried. I was like, that's my Spider-Man.
I was like, oh, okay.
It did. But no, so side note, we were watching that in theaters and this kid in front of us goes, hey, Dad, did Spider-Man just die? And I go, oh, no. I'm like, good luck explaining that one.
I want to know how much therapy people got because of that scene,
I'm like, and it was just the whole theater was quiet. He goes, Daddy, did Spider-Man die? And I go, oh no.
This is not what I planned on thinking.
Exactly. I was like, oh, man.
That Spider-Man, Iron Man dynamic as well, because in Infinity War, that the snap happens, and then in Endgame, it's the opposite way. Tony is going away, about to die, and now Spidey is holding him. And it's like that. It just shows you that whole character development that they've been doing with that dynamic. It paid off in the end too. To me, like that was a great send off to
Like,
where he's.
Yeah, think about it. Peter wouldn't have been able to do that in game had that not happened to him. Like, oh God, he would have freaked out.
Yeah,
But then he knew he needed to be there for Tony at that point.
Yeah.
Before Pepper got there.
It's just good stuff. Like it really is. I don't understand. I even saw somebody in one of the comments that was saying Far From Home was slow. The first 45 minutes was slow. And then I was like,
I'm sorry. To me, every movie is slow, but we won't go there.
You're just looking for reasons to not like.
Yeah, I mean, film is subjective, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, but Far From Home was necessary. That build up was necessary because it's like, all right, let's focus on Peter following
that slowness. That slowness is what you want. You want to hang out with Peter as a person, learn more about his everyday life.
Did you forget that he's a freaking kid? Like, yo,
I
love 16. Like,
I love that shit. Like,
yeah, man. But
I love character. I love story. Like, if you just give me straight action without story, what's the point? Like, it's once you get that action, it feels so much better. Because
I'm saying Marvel versus Capcom even has a story mode. You know what I'm saying?
Makes so much sense.
Yeah, but one other thing that I wanted to talk about before we wrap talking about the trailer. So we know that Peter is going to be in police custody, right?
Yep.
What attorney does he get?
There's only one.
Dude,
well, technically
this
there's
is
two.
the perfect opportunity to bring in Matt Murdock.
You know it's going to be Jennifer. It's going to be Jennifer.
You know it is.
Jennifer? You know it's going to be Jennifer.
Oh, man.
No. It
It's gonna be
makes sense
She-Hulk.
to be Jennifer because
It's
we
gonna
know
be
the
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk show is coming.
Yes.
It would make sense to introduce her here, and then we won't see her again until her series. And it would work.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, though.
sense.
Here's the thing. You can have both. You can have both as a legal counsel.
I know we do, and I would love that, but it's going to be Jennifer.
Dude, what?
I would prefer.
I didn't even consider that.
I want Matt just as much as everybody else, but it's I also really want Jennifer.
No, I'm about to say they haven't even hinted at that, so that would be a shock.
But we know a She-Hulk show is coming. We already know that they already announced
Jennifer
that.
Walters is she's in.
I was just thinking, it's like,
well,
Spider-Man. He's in New York.
I would also love that.
Matt's in New York.
I'm a scream regardless. I'm a scream. I don't know if it's Matt, but still.
But like I said, legal counsel, you have multiple lawyers.
Yep, that's true.
So you can have both, or you can have it that Matt like recommends. You can have. I would prefer better just because it flows with what they have in store. Like, all right, this is where we see Jennifer. We get like a couple minutes of her, and people are like, hey, what's her name? Jennifer Walters?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what?
The thing is, with trailers, you can't always take them for everything.
Exactly.
Marvel
rarely ever.
Yeah.
Because Marvel fucks with you. Because remember in that one scene, we had the Hulk running through Wakanda, and then it was fucking in an Iron Man suit.
Yeah, they cut it. Yeah.
So you never know.
Well, that was great misdirection because then you don't know what happens at the beginning of the movie. So that was great. Yeah. That was just for misdirection.
So
the Russo brothers
maybe they're doing that again. To be honest, who knows?
Maybe
because that looks like Matt Murdock standing next to him in the.
Well, it doesn't actually. Like when you go back and look at it, the guy walking into the room, he looks nothing like Charlie Cox. Like not even remotely. Not even remotely close.
Yeah, I thought it was because they cut the face off and then you got the
somebody get Charlie Cox on the phone.
You got those hairy ass Charlie Cox arms. I was like, oh fucking Charlie Cox.
Bro, he in New York. Everybody got hairy arms.
I ain't gonna lie, they do.
I would lose it. Whoever shows up, I'm gonna absolutely fucking lose it, man.
Oh man, I can't wait.
What's your final thoughts on the No Way Home trailer? The first teaser trailer, anyway.
Excited. I don't need anything more. I'm content with this. I'm looking forward to December 17th.
I hope they don't give us any other trailers. Like I hope that's the only one. Be like, I swear to God, like didn't that one hit like 30 million views in the first night?
Yeah, I don't think they should give us.
I was like, please.
Part of that is because of Mephisto, of course. So again, shout out to Mephisto.
Yes.
Dude,
like, appreciate you looking out.
Yeah, so that's a great way to end it. Like the trailer got 355.5 million views in 24 hours, bro.
More than Endgame.
Beating Endgame by almost 100 million views.
And you know how excited everybody was for Endgame.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, more like
Spider-
50 million
Spider-Man.
views, but
Spider-Man's got that power, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he's so
Spider-Man
beloved.
literally has pull, like
Yeah.
straight up.
which is why Sony will never ever give
Let
him
him
up.
go.
Ever,
No, they
ever.
won't. They know how much money that is.
And they were smart. They was like, well, we're terrible at making these movies on our own, so let's use the MCU to make him more popular. But really, he's ours.
Like we'll keep the retainer, and y'all we'll get paid together. It's great.
What's the final thoughts on the trailer?
I fucking, like I said, I loved it, and I'm really hyped to see all these other things that I was catching, because I saw Lizard kind of jump at Peter, and then Peter jumps back or whatever. There's all this sand that kicks up, so people are already speculating the Sandman. Like there's a lightning bolt that comes out of nowhere, so now it's Electro. There's so many speculations, and you just don't know what's gonna happen.
It's them, man. It's Yellow Lightning. That was so
Barry.
close. It's so it's
Yeah,
so
Barry
close to
Barry messing up time.
it's so close to
Goddamn it, Barry.
comic book Electro, and then like I mean, what else could be making the sand move around like that? And I am with you, Steve. Like I think it's the Lizard, because when you look at the black and gold suit, if you pause it, there's claw marks in the suit.
I
Who
did
else?
see that.
Right?
Yes.
Vulture's in prison, so who else?
Right.
Yeah. So and then even just that the scene, the biggest moment for me, I know that everybody was in love with the Green Goblin bomb and everything. The laugh, that was everybody's moment. But the moment for me was literally just trying to figure out when him and Doctor Strange is doing the spell. And then he's talking, and then Doctor Strange is like, shut up. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that just, like, I just love that intrigue and stuff like that. And even that, we didn't talk about it, but fucking when Peter Parker is holding that, whatever the fucking suitcase he's holding.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
Doctor
yeah.
Strange fucking knocks his, I was like, yo, what are they fighting about? So, like, it's just, y'all
Something
are right.
in that
that's the only
case
trend.
is really important, because the symbol on it is the same symbol that's on all of the sanctums that keep beings like Nightmare, Mephisto, Dormammu out
The things
of coming
that go
into
bump in
our
the
universe.
night. That's exactly.
So it's like
they keep all that out.
So it's like what's in it? Like
So I'm wondering what went wrong in the movie for them to go.
Oh, you know what
Which
it is.
will lead to the
You know what it is?
Multiverse of Madness.
You know what it is? It's that book. Took her from Wanda.
Ooh.
you think?
I think so.
Shit. Okay.
But yeah, like I said, like Abe said, that's the only trailer I need to see. There's no need to show me anything.
Yeah, please, like
you're just
I'm
gonna
begging you, please don't show us nothing else.
You're gonna
I will
give
never
us
beg
too
for this
much.
again, but don't give us nothing else. For real.
Like, hey, we know people will complain, but you just gave us this, and people are going to keep rewatching it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if before the movie comes out, that John is touching like 800 million views. I wouldn't be surprised. Would it touch $1 billion? That'd be crazy if it touched $1 billion. I'm not gonna say that, but 800 mil. People are gonna keep rewatching it, breaking it down. It's going to. That's all we need. That's all
I'm saying is we live in a really good time for these movies.
Hell yeah.
Shang-Chi is going to be the first MCU movie post-pandemic to hit $1 billion.
I'm excited to see that too. Not to get into that, but I'm really excited to see Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it on Thursday and Sunday.
Wong walks. He said, "Don't do it, Doctor Strange." And he walks in the portal.
Oh, I must apologize.
Comes out of Shang-Chi's universe and fights Abomination.
So apparently, Shang-Chi is actually before the events of No Way Home.
Huh.
I looked that up because I was curious. I was like, well, is he
That actually-
on
it would have
the
to be.
way?
It would
On
have
the way
to be,
to the events of Shang-Chi, but
Makes
it's
sense.
before No Way Home.
So the one that I'm most curious about timeline-wise is Eternals. Like, where is this exactly?
Mhm.
All of them.
Yeah, that's they get to do that. Oh, minor thing. I know JB's sorry to sidetrack, but
You good, bro?
I'm concerned about them saying that they might push back Eternals if Shang-Chi doesn't do well. That bothers me. It's annoying. Why give us delays? I mean, you should have already projected realistically what Shang-Chi would do in a pandemic.
I mean, if they're like pushing it to redo contracts to get the streaming stuff going again, maybe.
That'll be fine, but it seems more so like, if it doesn't do well in the box office, because Shang-Chi is not going to direct the streaming. Shang-Chi is only going to be out in theaters for
Because
the time
they didn't
being.
want to redo that contract. Which
Yeah.
I understand.
So it's like, please don't be like, hey, yo, it didn't meet expectations. All right, Eternals, because I'm excited for Eternals. As you know why, I'm hoping for a Beyonder cameo. So don't make me wait. You understand? So that's all I wanted to say. But hey, the trailer was busting. Can't wait. December 17th is going to be a special time.
Yeah, man. I can't wait. Any other final thoughts before we move on?
Christmas coming early, baby.
Right? So, guys, we are going to be moving into our second main topic. We're going to be talking about what if the world lost its mightiest Avengers. Now, I think this is the best episode yet, man. Like, it's crazy how these episodes keep getting better
leveling up.
and better and better. And this episode takes place roughly between like 2010, 2011, during the events of the Incredible Hulk, like Iron Man 2, the first Thor movie around there. So we open up Monday. We get Nick Fury's speech to Natasha about there was an idea, the Avengers Initiative, right? And then we see Tony at the diner. And I was like, oh, this is really, really cool. We're getting to see a little bit of what happened before Nick Fury rolled up on Tony at the diner. Thought that was really, really dope. Yeah. And then, go ahead, Steve.
I was about to say, I had literally, when we had, last week, we were talking about Iron Man 2. And I watched Iron Man 2 that night. So literally, that's right after him and War Machine have that fight.
Yeah.
Where and then he's basically sitting, he's hungover and he's sitting in the donut thing. And I was like, yo, what is the chances that I just so happen to watch this fucking movie? And that's when it synced up right there. I was like, this is dope. So he was technically hungover right there too. That's
that's right. Yep.
And then Natasha gives him the injection that's supposed to be the lithium dioxide that's supposed to slow down the effects.
Yep.
And then Tony just fucking dies. I was like,
whoa.
When that
happened, I was like, well, I'm sure that was bound to happen in some universe. So yeah.
Yeah. Yo, I enjoyed everything about this episode because I'm like, hey, we willing to do some things, you know, we willing to take out some of your favorite heroes. And the way it played off, like, okay, it was basically a whodunit.
A whodunit, yeah.
It was, they did it very well.
I was all about it.
Yeah, and then of course later when we get into the latter parts, it was just like, okay, I love how y'all did this. I love everything about it. But taking out Stoney like that, and again, you know, this is how they met, keeping it, and also this is the one thing I wanted to mention too, because a lot of people were saying that, of course, as you said, JB, this was the best episode yet. And part of me was like, you know, because I moved, I didn't watch the episode until a couple hours ago. I was like, well, you know, episode 2 was really good, but I understand the nostalgia factor. It was Chadwick Boseman, really fun episode. But when I finally watched this episode, I loved how they got to this point, because with the first 2 episodes, we start off with like, oh, this is how things normally run. But then here's where the change happened. It was just one decision. But for this one, it was like, oh, no, you don't find out what really made the change because it was something that happened a while ago. And it's just like, hey, you know, everything was still going by, still going normally. And then boom, something happened. It's like, wait, what caused this change? What caused these heroes to be killed and for the Avengers Initiative to not really take off?
Yeah.
It wasn't just something that we saw, like I said, something that happened back in the day, something that happened a while ago, something that we don't even need to see, just alluded to. And so I like how they did that. And it made me excited because it changed the formula a little bit. And like the way Tony was taken out, I was like, hey, simple injection. What did you do? What did you do to me? No, what did we do for you? And then he collapsed. I'm like, damn, okay. All right. At first I was thinking like, oh, Nick Fury, you just said F it. I'm gonna just go bad. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
Like, Ray, what did you think? Like, were you surprised that an Avenger died that early? Like,
I had looked. So like I said, I haven't looked at anything about any of these episodes. So as they come out, I just see it. You know, I've seen a few things here and there, but like I'm literally not looking up anything because you know me. Like I try not because I want to go in as blind as I can with these. And when Tony killed over, I was like, oh damn. Oh, I'm like, and then immediately I was like, who next? I was literally like, who's next? Because I was like,
exactly.
Somebody, and I was the only one. I was like, man, they ain't gonna do that to Thor. Ain't no way. And then I was like, oh, okay. Well, ain't no Avengers. I was literally thinking, I was like, this is the what if there were no Avengers. Literally. I was like, yeah, I really did love it. It was just like
And it was until it wasn't until the second one where I was like, all right, who could this actually be? Because I'm like, it's got to be somebody specific. I was like, at first I was like, and it was funny because my mom was going through all the movies, and I was like, who could it be? And I was like, oh, maybe it's Ghost. Like Ghost, like with a fully realized like ability. And then I was like, nah, Ghost ain't that. Ghost, look, literally, Ghost is not that good.
Yeah.
And then I was, and so like, and I'm not gonna spoil like what I really thought until we get to that point, but I just watching them getting taken out like one by one. I was like, ooh, what you gonna do, Nick? I was like, for what you gonna do? I'm like, there ain't no other people you could really call at this point. I was like, this is the start of the universe. I'm like, hey. What you about to just start making superheroes? Okay.
Yeah, right? Like besides Captain Marvel, like
And even then I was just like, of course that's later when we get to that. He's like, hey, Coulson was like, you're the last one left.
Hey,
he's like,
I miss Coulson, bro.
Nah.
I ain't gonna
I need him back. I'm gonna need him back.
Listen. Also, talking to chat. How did they kill God Thor? God of Thunder, because his daddy said you going down there to be John.
Yeah, you gotta remember
he was technically human at the time.
Yeah,
you need to go learn a lesson. Oh, he died. Dang.
Odin is like, what have I done? Loki.
I was expecting Odin to show up. I was like, Odin gonna be like, hey, I sent my only son down here. And y'all, I was hoping Odin showed up, but when Loki showed up, I was like,
I didn't think Odin because I was like, oh, he's already in the Odin sleep at this point.
Well, I don't like. I'm like, it's different. I'm like, this.
That's true. It is different. Yeah. It could have been different.
So I was like, it would have been hype if Odin showed up. But then I was like, if Odin showed up, he would have literally just destroyed Earth. So there's no fun in that. So
this is a different version. He might actually.
I think he would have absolutely took Midgard out. He'd be like, nope.
Something just dawned on me. It just perfectly dawned on me that I didn't realize until you spoke, Ray. I said, I mean, it's going to get to the end of it, and I can't wait, but Prince Loki now becomes King Loki, right?
Yep.
Indeed.
We also know we're getting King Loki in Loki season 2.
Yep.
Indeed.
So is that going to be the continuation of this episode?
It could
I hope so.
Be.
I hope so.
Like it could absolutely be one of those Lokis, straight up.
Because again, he's going to different timelines or multiverses now.
It could absolutely be that.
Shit. So we could get a continuation in Loki.
I can't wait for him to be like, yeah, they killed my brother, and I'm be like, oh.
Damn! All right, that'll be sick.
Hey, that's a good connection right there, boy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my! I'm losing my shit. Right? I don't know what to do with myself right now anymore. I just got really excited for Loki season 2 because I'm like, it's going to be a continuation of Marvel. What if? It could be. It would make
really
most.
Could.
It really would.
Hey,
oh
man! Of course, the best episode of What If so far has Loki in it.
Right? Of course it does.
Like I said, I'm still partial to T'Challa and Thanos being a team, but
no, that's cool.
I mean, but I will give him this nostalgia factor. Yes, if Boseman was still alive, it would still hit because it'd be fun, and of course, everybody seems to just dislike Chris Pratt as Peter Quill and what. Not giving his, they hate him
after he messed
reasons.
Up.
Yeah.
But the dude is messed up and the character messed up.
Yeah, what he does in his personal life we won't talk about, but he's not.
And hey, I'll say this: people were not effing with him before his personal life really became known, but now after that, just
yes, but I love the two Guardians movies. I loved them in those. It's just that
I only really enjoyed the first one, but I digress. Yes, let's continue. Okay. Yeah, okay. The second one, the comedy just felt too forced for me. Too forced. They tried too hard.
But on the topic of Thor, so we get to Tuesday. Steven, I want to start with you. So we get to Tuesday. We get Thor at the facility with Coulson. He's looking at the hammer. They have the outpost surrounding the hammer, right? And Thor is breaking into the facility, and this is really cool that we get this different version of it from Coulson's perspective. And he sounds the alarm, contacts Nick, and he describes him as Caucasian male, mid-20s, and he's got really great hair. And it's so perfect with the lightning strike with his flowing locks. It's fucking hilarious.
He's gorgeous. He was like,
he's gorgeous.
He's gorgeous.
It's an accurate description, sir. He's gorgeous.
One
And then
thing
he goes,
that
"Oh
I
yeah,
noticed,
he is gorgeous."
I noticed that he has no pencil eyelining for his eyebrow to make fun of the fucking first Thor movie where it's just straight up bleached eyebrow.
Yeah.
So it's like they even like making fun of
That's an amazing small detail. You're like, oh god,
making fun of that shit. It's like they just, but it was funny. It was funny just because he did the whole the hair thrust thing. It's like
he did the Maybelline thing, and I was like, oh my god.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Look like Troy Polamalu.
Oh,
Yep. Oh my god.
the head and shoulder commercials.
Literally, you're right. Thor is the hottest Avenger, straight up. I mean, he giving Black Widow a run for her money.
Right?
Absolutely.
And then we get the same similar type of scene with Hawkeye, but then something happens, and then the arrow fires. And then a perfect shot, because as soon as he gets hit, the lightning strikes straight through the entire screen as Thor, the god of thunder, falls. Whoa.
I was that lightning strike is supposed to be when he picks up the hammer and gets his power back. So it's like the lightning was like, oh, just a second too late.
I love that because it also was a throwback to they've used Hawkeye to kill Avengers before. And so I'm like, oof. Hawkeye, you just got bad luck, bro. Yeah. So, I mean, but Fury was right. He was like, ain't no way that he would have done that for real. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But every time somebody forces his hand, and I'm like, well.
And I felt so bad for Clint too, because he's beating himself up in that cell. So it's like, Steve, what did you think about that scene of like Hawkeye accidentally killing Thor, and then him like just beating himself up inside the cell? He's like, I don't miss fire. What happened? Like,
yeah, he's like, I never strike too early. I don't miss fire, and he right, he don't miss because he didn't miss, but. And it was just like watching him being upset about it for anybody that didn't already have their theory, like me, at the time, I still was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, because now I'm like, okay, Black Widow clearly didn't kill Iron Man. And then I'm like, he clearly didn't kill Thor. So what's going on? And I thought that they both were going to be just like arrested or in jail or whatever. And then when it happens where he goes and he gets off, then I'm like, okay, well, Black Widow's still alive. So, you know what I'm saying? So
this is where my theory exploded. Like, because this is where I was like, yep, I know exactly what kind of person is doing this. Is when that death happened. Because the first two, I was like, that's weird. But when it was that one, they were like, nobody's been in here. He was by himself. I was like, okay, I know what kind of person did this.
Yeah. So I'll tell the chat, like, I thought it was Loki the whole time. Right? Because, I mean, Loki could have easily made a spell that changed the lithium dioxide to poison that kills Tony. He could have easily done something to Clint to make him fire the arrow. When it comes to Clint's death, he could have easily made himself invisible. Because remember in the first Thor movie, he's talking to Thor, telling him that Odin's dead, or whatever, and no one else can see him. So he can make himself invisible to whoever he wants. So I was like, oh, yeah, Loki just walked in, killed him, and then left. You know what I mean? Look, so this whole time, I thought it was
Loki
him.
Loki could just walk through the wall if he wanted to.
Technically, it still was Loki. You know, technically, because you could say that do
you think he gave Hank the overall plan to do it? Like, here's how you can really stop Nick Fury. Here's how I can subjugate Earth, kill my brother, and you get what you want.
I won't discredit Hank's plan. I think Hank for sure would have done this regardless. But Loki's a type to be like, let me pray on that. Let me up it, because he gained from it. I'm convinced that Loki for sure was still the bad guy. Like, while Hank was a pawn. Yeah, ultimately Hank was a pawn.
I mean, so I will say that is absolutely the way it could have been, but I don't think so.
And we'll see what happens with Loki season 2. If that's King Loki, they refer to this one.
Even
King
Spicy,
Loki is the best one of all time.
Spicy just brought it up, and we were talking about it behind the scenes. Hank literally says that he killed Thor as a favor. Who else even knows about Thor?
He said I was doing him a favor.
So he was exactly. That's
doing Thor.
Steve was right. He's doing Thor a favor because he didn't want
gotcha.
brainwash him into thinking he was a hero. Exactly. So that's why I feel like it was absolutely. This is just
Yeah, I was doing him a favor.
That makes more sense instead of making him become one of Fury's lackeys.
It's still Loki though. It's still Loki, and
you're trying to give Loki too much credit this time. I'm
Loki
sorry,
because that's King Loki. Yes, yes.
I don't think
give him his credit. Yes.
I'm not giving him the credit here, bro.
He got his credit in the last
guess
season.
What?
No, Ico did not get his credit last season.
Hank is smarter than Loki. I don't care what nobody says.
Hank can be smarter, but
Ico
is super. King,
have you not read anything about the original Yellow Jacket? That dude is
a monster.
He's monster murderer, bro.
Monster.
Look, King Ico.
No. Listen, God of Mischief is completely different than being a straight up murderer.
Ico was known as the
wife
God
beater.
of evil. I mean, we people ignore that about the original Yellow Jacket for sure.
He can be a terrible person, and this showed you. He was willing to just straight up murk folks.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And
relentlessly. That was just no.
While he was
saw
willing
how
to
he
do that,
did Natasha.
Yeah, while he was willing to do that, his reasoning was fair. His reasoning
All I'm
was
saying
fair.
is, guess what? Loki didn't even do that much when he found out his brother died.
Yep.
Loki didn't kill a single person, and his brother was dead.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it a lot more. But I completely get where Hank was coming from.
There's a lot of
easily.
Because he lost his wife and daughter to a mission. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And I like how he said they went out the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like,
working for S.H.I.E.L.D.
And we know exactly who killed Hope, and I'm gonna talk about that once we get to that part.
I think we're on the same page.
Oh yes. So let's cut to Wednesday, and this is like the events of the Incredible Hulk, and I thought this was fucking awesome. So we get Natasha. She rolls up to this university, and we see Betty Ross. We haven't seen Betty since the Incredible Hulk movie.
Yeah.
She's wearing the exact same outfit that she's wearing from that movie. Mm-hmm. Thought that was incredible. And Betty is able to determine that a small projectile was fired from the syringe and the lithium dioxide was never even in it.
And this confirmed my theory. After the Hawkeye thing, this confirmed it for me. I
Gotcha.
didn't have the person right, but it confirmed it confirmed for me who it was. Like in theory. Yes. I was like, ooh wee, yep, I like it.
Yeah, and I love that Natasha's scanning the room and she sees the Stanley's pizza parlor hat and jacket that Edward Norton Hulk was wearing in that movie. So I love these callbacks, bro. So Steve, what did you think about this interaction between Natasha and Betty?
I thought it was. I actually didn't pay that much attention to the injection part that Ray called.
Oh, word?
So mine was just, okay, Betty is here. I was super excited to see Betty. Natasha is still trying to figure out things herself. She's like, I got to go ahead and talk to Bruce. To Banner, I'm sorry. And then, so I was already looking forward to the next scene because I'm a Hulk fan. So I'm like, okay, so this is the Hulk day. So I really honestly and truthfully didn't pay too much attention to that dialogue, honestly and truthfully. So when Ray said that he had already had his theory, my theory didn't come until the actions of what happened with Hulk. So, yeah, pretty much I just was like kind of watching this scene and I was like, okay, it is what it is. And then we get Mark Ruffalo's actual voice, which was pretty cool too.
It was great. I was like, I love
awesome.
Mark. I love Mark. Mark is great.
Yeah,
you can tell he just loves being Bruce Banner, bro. It's great.
He peeks in for a second and he pumps back out and everything. And I thought that whole little scene, like that whole thing was pretty cool, like their interactions and everything.
Let's decide real quick. What y'all think about Natasha's voice?
I thought the voice actress did a really good job of capturing Scarlett's inflections.
So did I. Yep. I was like, wow, yeah, you really did that. I'm like, I wouldn't have thought twice about it, to be honest, if I didn't know.
Even the dude that played Tony Stark, I didn't know that he did so good at Robert
That
Downey.
guy has been doing it literally for decades. He is the same guy that voices Tony Stark from Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Avengers Assemble. Like,
he's really good.
So this is me just being petty. This was definitely not
petty
their,
God.
Yeah, this was definitely not their plan. But I just found it amusing that we was getting so much Black Widow, and then we actually saw her get her ass whooped, right? And I was like, is this shade at Scarlett Johansson? Like, we're done with you? I couldn't help but watch it. I'm like, damn, ScarJo, they did you dirty. They said, this is how we feel. It was like, because, I mean, look at how everybody went out. But ScarJo she stood. I mean, my fault.
She got her ass.
Black Widow stood no chance. Just boom, 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 boom. I was like, this is vicious as hell. I'm like, damn, ScarJo. That's how they feel about you.
Hank Pym, a monster, bro. That was cold blooded.
Because everybody else, Loki. I mean, Banner himself. That probably.
Hey, that was dirty.
But it was dope. I won't say it was dope. Excuse me.
It was. It was
interesting. It was interesting because it was like, yo, yeah, because
he the only person
he was shot
to kill the Hulk.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Because he was shot, and it's like, oh, you know, I'm thinking like, don't give me like, oh, there's a magic bullet that could kill him. Like, stop playing.
Hey,
but
so
then when they show how they took him out,
they also confirmed the Thanos theory though. If Ant-Man would up his booty, he would have died.
Right.
So look, when the
Hulk, turn off the show. We done.
When the Hulk imploded, I immediately was like, Ant-Man did it. They
I thought that.
I was like, yo, they really. And that's when I started thinking that it was Ant-Man. That was my first time.
I feel you. Like that.
And I mean, you weren't wrong.
That double confirmed it for me.
You weren't.
Like it double confirmed it for me when that happened. I was like,
I was like, yo, Ant-Man just fucking grew in the Hulk's butt. So
that's where I started to get confused. I was like, well, what spell could Loki have used to blow up the fucking Hulk, bro?
even then, I was still kind of confused though, because like Mark Ruffalo even said, I put a gun in my mouth and the Hulk spit.
He literally says like moments before that. Oh, the guy that literally can't die.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Although I will say he probably absolutely survived that. It's the Hulk, bro.
Bryce, what I will say is
if you read Immortal Hulk, you'll understand.
Yo, Immortal Hulk go crazy. favorite version of the Hulk. We'll never get that in the MCU for obvious reasons, but that is the ideal Hulk. But Bryce,
I think
the reason why I thought I thought she would have a chance at it because she knew she was being, because she's aware enough. And it wasn't until at this point too, during that fight, I actually didn't think it was Ant-Man. I did think it was still Loki as invisible, but I was like, yo, even if invisible, there are still ways you can hold your ground against that. And if anybody was to be able to at least stand a chance, it would be Romanoff. Right. Breathing, noise, but you know, when you make yourself as manager as possible, you ain't winning shit.
It seemed like she was more worried about getting the message to.
No, she was trying to fight. She was trying to win that. It's just, you know, you can't fight literally what you can't see in terms of a visible spectrum. But I mean, the thing is like this big. Like you literally, someone invisible, you can still fight if you're good enough, if you're skilled enough, which Natasha is. You can't fight something this man. You out of your way. You out of your way.
Then like the next shot, we get to Coulson driving back to the Shield outpost. We get this amazing scene with the Watcher just looking over him, and something that I didn't pick up until I was watching a clip for something else. Phil Coulson. So there's like a one shot type thing. Well, Phil Coulson stops to get coffee and goes into this convenience store, and these guys are robbing the place, and he fucks them up.
I remember that, yeah.
So on the way back, he's telling Fury that he's bringing him coffee. That could potentially be them connecting this to the one shot.
Oh, I would like to think that that's exactly what they did. But
I hope so.
It's such a cool callback. Like, it is such a good one. He's like, oh yeah, I stopped. It's like I was there, so I got coffee. Essentially, it was like, so good, so good.
And I love it. He gets there, and then Loki shows up with the Warriors 3, Asgard's army, with the Destroyer in the back, bro. What?
That was the piece for me. He was like, I'm even taking the Destroyer, bro. And I'm like, you didn't need to do all that.
I came to fuck shit up.
I'll say this. While I dislike the Thor trilogy as a whole, that the Destroyer
armor, it always does.
It's sexy as hell. Sexy as hell.
Cool.
Great design.
And the fact that they brought it back.
Bodyguard. I'm Destroyer, bro.
It's the Destroyer.
And not of, well, at this time, but later when Nick pulled up to his like, what's your name, soldier?
I'm sure Nick Fury like,
oh shit. But nah, and then of course we had Lady Sif.
Yeah.
Shut up. Every time they bring Lady Sif back and she gets some dialogue, that makes me happy.
Yeah,
because
man.
I'm
Stuff's
like,
amazing.
yo,
She got a short end in the
is.
MCU.
I mean,
She did.
the Thor side of the MCU got the whole short end of the stick. If you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like,
they
there's
did.
so many cool characters there that they just
Mhm.
kind of were like, comedic.
They
relief.
straight up just murdered the Warriors 3 in
Another
Ragnarok.
reason why I hate Ragnarok and
You're crazy,
I just like the
bro.
Thor trilogy.
I don't hate it. It's just that I was like, oh, you just really didn't like Asgard. You just wanted Thor. That's all y'all wanted from this. Okay.
Right.
I hated it.
Okay.
I
love
truly
Asgard. Asgard was a really cool place to be, but they're like,
it was.
My
We
issue
gonna
with the
blow-
Thor
we gonna blow it
movies
up.
is just how nerfed everyone is. Like
Yep.
everyone,
Yeah.
especially like Heimdall. It's like, do you know why he guards the gates to Asgard? Is because he's one of the only people. Yeah, he's one of the only people even remotely close to Odin's strength.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he guards Asgard, bro. Like,
He is
come
the
on.
definition of.
And they made it so easy for people
Look
to
what you
come
said
in and
about the
out.
club. You
Like,
can't even get in. He's the
Right.
definition of that.
but the way they did him, it's like, nah, anybody can get in. Yeah, anybody can get in. All you need to do is put a little bit of effort, you'll get in.
Oh, yeah.
But it was also, I mean, I don't mean to go into a Thor 3 like I hate this movie rant, but I also didn't like the comedy. And it's just me. I'm not a big fan of comedy when it comes to my films. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 did a great job because it felt natural. The comedy felt natural. Like I said, Volume 2 felt forced. Thor 3 just felt
So
forced.
with Thor 3, I think that it was, I don't know, it was purposeful. They did it on purpose.
Yeah,
that's like they were, and that's why I still vibe with it.
So there was also rumors that I'm not sure if it was confirmed, but Hemsworth didn't want to be so serious anymore.
I mean, think about Thor, bro. Thor,
That's true.
Think about Thor walking into the room with everybody else, and he's the most serious one there. Bro.
I mean, he don't need to be the most serious, but he didn't need to like.
But think about it though,
and it makes sense why they put him with Guardians.
Thor typically is the most serious one though.
Yeah,
and they started recently making him more comedic.
Yeah, exactly. Especially
right.
Teaming him up with Guardians now, which works
for me. It kind of makes sense for Thor to be the kind of happy-go-lucky one because he's the battle hungry, like the battle hungry, like drunk god. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what he is. And so I'm like, it just works.
So it's just I don't like that version of Thor too much. Mind you,
you like the one with the helmet. Oh, I see. That kind of
look.
Okay.
No,
it's too late. You didn't expose yourself.
Nah,
okay?
you
like
know
helmet.
what I like.
Okay.
You know what I like. You know.
I enjoy
Anyway,
the comedy in it though. I'm on the polar opposite of you.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
love
the
Taika,
reason
man.
why- Yeah, I feel like that's the reason why the DC movies are not as great because they're trying to be.
No.
Well,
That's
we can do a whole
that's
episode on that shit.
Don't blame comedy on no. That's
I mean,
they
obviously writing and stuff too, but I feel like if you lightened it up, I feel like if you lightened it up and let them get some jokes.
They did. It was called Shazam, and that was terrible.
Steve said, "Oh yeah."
See, because they haven't found the balance yet until they made the Suicide Squad, but they haven't found the balance.
I would.
And they had to tap into Gunn, who is responsible for Guardians of the Galaxy, which worked for me. Because similar to Volume 1, the Suicide Squad, the comedy felt natural. It just fit. Like we mentioned before on previous episode, Suicide Squad was a great cast of characters to have this fun Gunn version of comedy. Like the whole Harley Quinn scene, it just fits. Peacemaker, it just fit, you know. Polka Dot Man, it just fit. I didn't feel like, hey, you forcing it.
If someone said that I had to eat a beach full of dicks for liberty, I would.
I was just like, hey,
it's like well-written movies.
Exactly. I do. And so Steve, don't throw comedy as the reason DC failed. DC fails because
I mean, I know that, but I'm
I'm not giving you that. No, I'm not giving you that. I'm not giving you that. I'm not giving you that.
Everything Batman and it's not.
Hey,
that's what I feel like
need to.
Steve not wrong though. He ain't wrong.
They don't need to say
I'm sorry, Steve ain't wrong. He's not wrong here.
We have
like the
plenty
Flash has
of
no reason
dark
being dark like fucking
They
Bruce.
were like, hey,
but
give
even with
everybody
the
a backstory
Flash,
like Batman.
even with the Flash, they still, I mean, Ezra Miller was still like a comedic character.
Let's not talk about that.
He was still a comedic character.
No,
like his
let's not.
storyline is serious.
I am
because,
very
like, it
upset
needs
with
to be.
everything Flash right now outside of the comics. So I don't want to talk about it.
Look,
Yeah, I'm
this
with
is
you
the
there,
last
dude.
thing
Literally
I'll say.
everything outside
like
of
the
the
lightsaber?
comics.
This is the last thing I'll say. Oh gosh, don't mention that. This is the last thing I'll say. Steve, if you blame comedy again, I will delete all of It Mob right now. I will do that right now. All right.
That's so
We can move
petty
on.
of you.
We can move on.
Wow.
As I wear this It Mob shirt.
Which is why he's a villain.
Can I get a petty
This is
counter
why
of-
he's on the council of
Petty
villains.
counter of 3. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah,
I'll
3
go,
petties.
I'll go back in time and fix it.
Don't
But,
make me use the anti-life equation on you, boy. I'll take you off the timeline right now. You think I wear these shades for
And
my
by the way,
protection?
I'm gonna also throw it up there. We'll go past it, but Shazam was not terrible. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah,
Uh,
Shazam was
I
not
said
terrible. It just
what I
wasn't for me.
said. I
It
just
wasn't for
like
me.
that movie.
I
but-
enjoyed Shazam. It
But
wasn't bad.
jumping back into the episode with Nick and Loki's exchange, which I thought was fucking hilarious, where Loki's like, "You would
It
do
was great.
best to kneel before a god," and Fury's like, "We don't really do that here."
That made me so happy. We don't
Nah,
do that here.
my
I need
favorite
every
line-
black character in any MCU thing to have that line at least once. We don't do that.
My favorite line from that exchange was he was like, "Hey, I'll guarantee you have your pound of flesh," and then Loki was like,
I need a whole body, bro.
"Nice choice of words." I was like, "Oh yeah, Loki up to something. Loki, Loki did something. He did something." He's like,
That's a Loki line.
it worked. So I was just like, "Ooh, I like that Prince Loki. Prince about to become a king soon. Okay, let's get it." I just love that line itself, but the dialogue between the two were fun. I'm just glad because here's another thing. Like, I complain about how Lady Sif doesn't get much shine, but also Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, we knew prior to Endgame, like he even complained. He's like, "Yo, they don't use me often. Like he'd been missing for so long." And it's like Samuel L. Jackson's a great actor. He has done a great job with Nick Fury, where even now the comics take more after Samuel L. Jackson.
Right.
And so for me to get this episode that focused heavily on him, of course I loved it. Of course I loved it. I was like, yes, this is...
I mean, to be
Give me
fair,
more.
Secret Invasion is all about him. Like it's all
Exactly.
him and
So
Talos.
it's like, I never understood why we got so little of him in the MCU following Avengers. Like,
I
he
mean-
just basically disappeared.
Cause I mean, like it's about Earth's mightiest heroes. Like
Yep.
Nick Fury isn't. He's the guy that put them together.
he's
He's the
the
guy that runs
producer.
Shield. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the producer.
But
He
I
put the-
should
he
still
put the
be
board
getting
band
him-
together.
But even then, it was like, yo, we're not
So-
even seeing him behind the
But like,
scenes.
think about it. His best stuff was in the Captain America movies because it focused around
Yes, it was.
Shield.
Right.
It was.
And that's why, and I loved him in all those Captain America movies, straight up.
Yeah,
Winter
he's
Soldier.
great in
It's
Captain
like
Marvel.
David said.
If
Yep.
he's
Yeah.
not at the
Yeah.
end of Age of Ultron, no one leaves. Everyone dies if he's
Mhm.
not there. So he's a really important person in the
Yeah,
MCU.
really.
Exactly. And
I
it's
mean,
just like,
so,
I need
I
to
feel
see
you.
more.
It's like,
of him.
oh, I wish we got more, but it's like he's the man behind the scenes. And that's what he
Yeah.
likes to be.
It's like JB says, no actor is bigger than the overall script.
Yeah, but
And I'm
still,
with
Sam was like, bro, like, where am I? I don't need to be in every movie but you. And
I
I'm like,
mean,
Sam, I feel
But
you.
he
I
has
feel you.
important moments in everything though. Because
does.
even
He does.
in Winter Soldier, if Nick
It's-
Fury's not there,
Winter
they can't
Soldier is
stop
my
Project
favorite,
Insight.
Winter Soldier is honestly my top 3 favorite MCU films.
Because
Yeah.
it's
They did a
fantastic.
great job. It absolutely is.
Without
Very
him,
well
we
written.
don't stop Project Insight. Everyone dies in Age of Ultron. The Avengers don't
And
get put
Steve.
together.
Or Thawne, they use their comedy well in Winter Soldier too. All right, so
They
I don't
do.
hate comedy.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just
Yeah,
It's moderation, bro.
No,
You
you
need
hate
better,
Exactly.
you need better comedic writers.
I need moderation.
Better comedic writers.
Steve about to go have me take a shot after this. I'm gonna go.
I
take a shot
hate
of-
when
of
people.
something.
Look,
I'll
I hate-
take one with you.
My name is
okay,
Abe.
man.
I hate when people smile.
What the fuck are we doing at this conference?
I'm not smiling because I'm happy. Well, I am happy at the bloodshed and destruction. Like
Oh
I
my
mentioned, but
But
You know?
but yeah, but Fury wants Loki to give him some time so that he can find out who it was that took out Thor, right? So Loki gives him 24 hours, or else he's going to reduce the planet to ash and ice. And then we finally get the scene with Black Widow. Is she at like a university or like a library or some shit? It wasn't really clear. Like, what do you guys think
Oh.
where she was?
She might even still be at the fucking place where Banner
Yeah, so she's still at the university. Yeah, so
Yeah.
she's trying to get all of the information on the Avengers Initiative, who could be connected to all of this stuff. She figures it out, and then she's attacked by the person that we know who is the killer. We can just talk about it right now because we're gonna move into that final part with Nick Fury right now. So we find out that it's Hank, bro, because right before Natasha dies, she says it's all about hope. It's all about hope. This was the moment I was like, shit, it's fucking Hank.
Yeah. So this is and I had the same moment, but it was like because I thought it was Hope the entire time. I was like, because I assumed that Hank was dead in this universe, and she was getting revenge on Fury for her father dying, like with her mom. Like I just assumed that the two of them had died together, and she was pissed at them.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's not a bad theory.
But when she says it was Hope, it's all about hope. I was like, oh no, it's Hank. It's mad evil Yellow Jacket Hank. That makes so much sense.
The reason why I didn't think Hank, and when you mentioned Hope, I was like, okay, it makes sense. Hope went bad in this one. I didn't think it was Hank because they don't really give us too much Hank in the MCU. It's the primary focus has been
they gave all the Hank moments to Tony.
Exactly.
If we're being honest,
it was to start.
Which I'll be
so
very
I
honest,
didn't expect
probably for the better because Hank's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Like Hank is not a nice person. Like Tony's arrogant, but he's still got like something of a decent personality in there. Hank is just an asshole.
It bothered me because it bothered me because it was like, oh, Ultron and Ultron is so dope to me. And it's like Hank did it. It's like, nah, we're gonna give it to Tony. I was like, all right, so y'all not fuck with Hank.
I mean, it also made sense to me because Tony is the roboticist, so it made sense in this universe.
So that's why, again, because of their avoidance of really touching on Hank, when it's all about Hope. I was like, okay, Hope. When we find out it's Hank, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I'm with this. I'm actually with this. Again, Hank Pym is not a character that I would call someone I want to associate with.
Period.
But for my taste in movies and film, I was like, I'm down. I'm down with Hank. I'm down with having Hank being the villain in this one. It works.
Oh, it absolutely worked because I'm like, he was the only person besides Hope and had the set of skills that could do everything that he did straight up. It just made sense. I was like, yeah, that's definitely a Pym. That's a Pym technique.
I still was lost in the sauce thinking Ant-Man at this point.
You weren't wrong.
You were. Hey, from jump, you were on the right track. I didn't jump on the Ant-Man family bandwagon until that very comment.
Yeah.
Until by Romanoff, and I was like, oh, so it's not Loki.
But see, I couldn't remember.
You know why? It was the misdirection from the title of the
Loki invasion.
Right.
I'm like,
that's what got y'all. See, I didn't read
King Icon's not fucking them up.
So,
but I still had
Loki gave him hands, and I was dying. I was dying.
I was trying to figure out what the message. I remember when Nick Fury first messages Captain Marvel. And I was like, did she say something about hope? Like, this is where my mind went. Because I remember him, like, he was like, oh, I need to message her before I fucking get snapped away. And he messaged, I don't remember. I was like, did he say hope or something in that message? I was like, what the fuck you mean? It's all about hope. Like, I was still wondering what the fuck.
They messed y'all up with that title, bro.
I was like, oh, it's all Loki. It's his plan. It's no one else.
I love that. That's great. I didn't even like. I'm telling you, I didn't even see the title, so like I had no idea. So it was like when stuff was happening, I was like,
Yeah, at this point, I'm just gonna start ignoring the titles and just be like,
you have to.
Yeah.
The next episode is supposed to be a Doctor Strange.
Shut up!
See?
Shut up! Stop talking! Don't tell me that. Let me just walk through the line.
We do that.
Yeah,
you didn't need to remind me. I had forgotten.
We know what's happening.
We won't mention Steve's revelation.
I mean, that stuff is in the trailer though. It's in the promo footage. It's not a spoiler.
Yep.
That's true. But Steve, you want to tell the people real quick, sidetrack what you found today?
I should have had it in here. I don't have it with me. But yeah, I just randomly went to the store and then I see King Killmonger just sitting on the shelf, and I was like, huh. I was like, nobody's gonna buy this, huh?
Ain't nobody else gonna buy it.
I'm curious to what is Is that would that be the episode we'll get T'Challa in? Because like you mentioned, JB, we have T'Challa in 2 more episodes, right?
Mhm.
Oh, he's
Two or
in
three.
episodes?
2 or 3.
For real?
Yeah.
3 more?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Okay.
Oh, so he did 4 total?
I'm not finna look up what they are, but
Yeah, no, I don't
I mean,
want to.
the titles aren't on IMDb anyway.
Yeah.
All it says is what if episode 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
But
onwards
then
and
for
on.
him to be in half the show, that's
Yeah, if you look at IMDb, he's gonna do it 3 more times.
oh.
There's going to be a team up episode. He's going to be in that. He's going to be an episode with Gamora, the Mad Titan or whatever they're gonna call her.
Mhm.
Yeah, so he'll be
The
around.
Gamora pop does drop the same day as the T'Challa pop, the T'Challa Star-Lord pop, next Friday. Okay, all right.
I'm surprised these pops are on the shelf early. I'm
Yeah.
like, they on
Yeah,
the
I
shelf
did
early.
not expect that. at
Like
all.
I'm like maybe I
I
should
picked
cancel my
mine-
pre-order.
I picked mine up. It's up there. I picked mine up last weekend, bro.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I might go to the store and just cancel my pre-order once I head to the store and be like, yo, you already got it? Let me cop that joint.
Mhm. But yeah,
Yeah, so let's
I
cut
can't even remember
let's cut to the epic scene. So we cut to Thursday with San Francisco. We are in the cemetery, and then we cut to Hope's tombstone, right? But right before that, we get another amazing shot of the Watcher looking over everything. So we get there, and then we get the reveal that it's Hank in the yellow jacket costume, and he looks so mentally fucked. And how can you
Yeah.
blame him, right? He lost his wife and his daughter, man. Like, he already
The
lost it
same way. The
when he
same
thought
way.
his wife was dead, right? And now he lost his daughter, find out that it was the same way working for S.H.I.E.L.D. But what he doesn't see is that they sacrificed their lives for the betterment of humanity, for people. They knew what they were doing. So, Steve, I want to toss it to you because I want to hear your theory.
okay,
So, who do you think killed Hope?
Bucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we're on the same page. So we already know that he gambles a lot with Natasha now. That's his big gambling piece. But before then, there was another person that he used to use for his missions. I think that was Hope. I remember Natasha saying that Bucky shot through her to kill the person, and she shows her scar. Hope didn't survive that gunshot. She died.
Exactly.
It's the same. Okay, we're on the same.
Exactly. When they said that, I was like, oh, she was killed outside of Odessa. That's the Winter Soldier.
Yep,
They're telling
that's
us that
exactly
Hope
what it
Hope was in Natasha's place, and instead of it going through, it killed her.
Yeah.
Oh
killed
man, I lost my shit.
It
Bro.
make
like
it makes
I
perfect
said,
sense.
they pay so much attention
Yeah.
to detail.
Yes, they
It makes
do.
me so happy.
Yeah.
God, they're so good.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Absolute incredible writing, and then we get the breakdown of how Hank killed everyone, and then we see that he used one of those enlarging discs on Hulk's heart, bro. Oh my god. But they're not very clear on how he killed Clint. So it's like, do you think he gave him like an aneurysm? Like, what do you think he even did? Or like, did he use the
Probably.
yellow jacket lasers and just like shoot his brain? Like,
Like either that or he just stopped his heart straight up.
Yeah.
yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
And
like,
I'm assuming that's the same thing he did to Tony. So
with Tony, he just went into his neck and
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
just
probably just
stop
start
the
pulling nerves.
Again,
that's messed up.
everybody aside from well, minus Banner, it's not humane,
Hey,
but
bro, that was the dirtiest of
Hey,
that was
this-
dirty. But
this-
ScarJo, I would say ScarJo's was
because
worse.
it was the longest. We got to the
Yeah. Whereas Hulk, he can't really feel pain like that. He can take a hit.
I don't know,
Him
bro.
blowing
That
up
looked
was a
uncomfortable.
unique way.
And they made
for
it
sure I
into a
would've become
green
what it was.
smoke because if this wasn't Disney,
Oh,
organs, guts.
So what I was hoping is
Oh,
that this is how they get the Marvel zombies because that gamma radiation.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, because I mean,
You
he
might
turned him
be
into
right,
a giant gamma bomb. So it's like,
true.
you might be
Yeah.
because remember when some of his blood got into the fucking drink, he poisoned a bunch of people.
A lot of people died.
So
A lot
that
of people got
fucking-
mutations.
Oh yeah, that could definitely be it.
I was like, maybe this is how you get Marvel zombies. I doubt it, but like maybe.
I mean,
Yeah,
it'd be
I can't
crazy
wait-
if they connected a future episode with this one because they haven't done that yet. But if they do that, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah.
yeah, they have to connect some way, or
Yeah.
or it's like because we're all dealing with branch realities, right? So it's like, well, the other episodes that we're going to see with T'Challa Star-Lord, I think it's still going to be another reality, but he's still Star-Lord. He still became Star-Lord in that reality. Much like all of these other things. We know that in hundreds, multiple of thousands of different universes, a lot of things happen the exact same way. So we get the fight between Fury and Yellow Jacket.
Which still sick. I love that.
So the first time Fury punches Yellow Jacket, I was like, oh, that's Loki. Because there's no way that a human person could see Yellow Jacket or be fast enough.
I was like, do I need to read more Nick Fury comics? Because I was watching the shit. I was like, so Natasha gets body.
It's like, you're pretty spry for a guy with a corner office.
My wife was like, hey yo, that's
I was like,
my wife was like, that's weird.
Nah,
Natasha getting my ass whooped, but Nick Fury is handling
yes. Before that, it was
I was like, well, he is like a super spy, like dang. But
when he kept harping on Thor, I was like, okay, this is definitely Loki. And then when he started moving, I was like, all right, for sure, Loki. I didn't think that. I was like, okay.
It took a few hits for me to be. It took a few hits for me to be like, hold up, he ain't missing, bro.
It just seemed like a Nick Fury thing to do. Be like, let me go talk to Loki. Hey, Loki. Could you do something like, yeah, I could impersonate. And as soon as he started, I'm like, nah, not even Natasha could stop Yellow Jacket. And she knew it was him.
I was like, that's why she worked for Fury. Oh, okay, that makes so much sense.
Because Fury got better hands than her. I mean,
I'm telling you, I'm sitting there like, hey, bro, he ain't missed. Like, he just literally beating him like a bug. I'm like, hold on.
All right, here's another thing too. When he did that slow-mo flip, I was like, Morpheus? I was like, oh my gosh.
Listen, Vash ain't here. All black people on the phone.
But to A's point about the way that Fury was talking, he was like, is that how she died? And he was like, kind of like, and I was like, something ain't right.
I was like, that's too cold blooded. He was furious.
He was super. He was like, is that how she died? She just died, and I was like, yo,
he was like, honestly, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I was like,
he was like, I don't care about none of them. He was like, you don't care about bro. I don't care about none of them. And then he's like,
you die every day, B.
right.
He's like, y'all humans die all the time, bro. I don't care.
But yeah, so that's when I thought something was off. But then when he slapped it, I just went straight into action. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I need to read more Nick Fury comics. I was like, I immediately said that in my head. I was like, yo, I need to.
But I was like, this is sick. I'm like, all right, Fury, just giving him hands.
Right? Yeah, but that was a dope sequence. And then Loki reveals himself. And then Fury tells him, take your hammer, get off my planet. Well, before we get there, he tells Fury tells Hank like, yo, like Hope knew exactly what she was getting herself into. She was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. She did this to protect people, and she will never ever be forgotten. And Hank saying honor her, it was so touching. He's going to spend the rest of his life in an Asgardian prison, but he just loved his daughter, man, and he just honored her.
His daughter. You know? I mean, yeah, he's just a father and a husband. Like that's what he cling to.
That's what anybody would do. If I had superpowers and that same situation happens, my wife and daughter is killed.
I mean,
I'm a villain now.
I'm gonna go kill Fury. I ain't killing the rest of these folks, bro.
No, I would do what Hank did. Hey, let's take out everybody.
That's so fucked up though, because you're discrediting the choices that your wife and your daughter made.
Fair.
Hey, I lost the loves of my life. I don't give a damn. Everybody gotta go.
Yeah. If I'm a superhero and then something like that happens,
what James just said though, like it was they made the choice, and they did. If they were just taken from me randomly on the street, oh no, everybody go.
Yeah, they were drafted.
I agree.
I'm about to Dracula the world, bro.
they willingly chose to put their lives on the line.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hope
and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. Objectively, yes, you are absolutely right. But personally, with bias, I'm doing what Hank did.
There's something called a crime of passion.
I'm just going after Fury. I don't even gotta be.
No, that's not enough.
But why even Fury though?
You hurt me. I gotta hurt 10 times
but
back.
think-
And what's
but
the
think
way to
about
do?
it, though.
Start hunting people.
No. Think about it. Fury knows these people. He don't really care about them. He cared about the Avengers project. And guess what he did after they was dead? Went started the Avengers anyway. So what you done did?
Here's the thing.
Because their
they
deaths
didn't get capped
prove
yet.
that he needs the Avengers more than ever.
Mhm.
And he just goes against the best
And
ones
pretty
right
sure.
away.
Well,
Literally
let's
just
be
goes
real.
against the best ones right away. If
Marvel
Captain
wasn't supposed to be
from the
part of
start-
it.
Listen,
Marvel
if Captain
originally
Marvel's
was supposed to
there
be part of it.
from the start.
Oh yeah,
no
Hank doesn't get
problem.
to do what he do. If Fury planned to recruit Marvel from the start, Hank is good luck, Hank.
It was
I want to
just-
see
it
how
was
you
a
take
wrap.
her out.
I mean, I was just no, he couldn't. Like seriously, I'm sorry, she is actually too strong. like
OP
it's
as hell.
ridiculous. And it's just like if you think about it though, if he goes and starts the Avengers with Captain Marvel, Captain America, and he goes pulls up the the rest of them kids, he got an amazing Avengers team just from this jump.
From jump.
With a lot less problems, mind you, with the egos out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I mean, Hank isn't a very stable person to begin
Oh
with.
no, not
He
at all.
always had issues with S.H.I.E.L.D. even before his wife and Hope got involved.
That's why
So I get it.
So it was
It
just boiling over.
made sense. Yeah, it
Mhm.
just it was somebody.
Which is why I would have done the same thing he did. Hank, I know you're not hearing me because you in Asgard right now, but I understand your pain, brother. I understand your
Hey.
pain.
It's
You know,
a real thing. Crime of passion. It's a
I'm
real
gonna-
thing.
I'm gonna say that y'all wouldn't go as far as he did. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you would.
I mean, I need the technology
But y'all-
first.
y'all-
So
no.
it
What I'm
depends
saying
what
is-
tools I have.
You are black men. You ain't no crazy white man. You ain't.
Florida
Amen
man.
to that. Amen to that.
Florida
oh yeah,
man.
a Florida man would definitely do what Hank did. Hank is from Florida. Let me just check
I
to see where he's
rest
from.
my case. Okay.
I'm about to say, I'm just talking. I probably
I'm just saying. All right.
If
But
I
yeah, so
find
then
out
we-
Hank is from Florida, I'm gonna lose him.
So then we cut to Fury telling Loki, "Get your hammer, get off my planet." And Loki's like, I don't know. I think I've decided to extend my stay. And then
What a
it cuts
kind of way
to
to say is no. I want this. This is mine now.
right. Then we
It
cut
goes
to Friday, the next day. Find out that Loki and the army of Asgard has subjugated the entire planet, and he is in front of the United Nations, mimicking Black Panther, which I thought was both gorgeous and fucked up at the same time.
Yep.
Because T'Challa is expanding technology and healthcare to the rest of the world, and
Mhm.
Loki has subjugated the planet. So what did you guys think?
Bro,
Quick side
I was.
note, Hank is from Nebraska. Same difference. I mean, I
Also
don't know
makes
anybody
sense
from
to me.
Nebraska.
I'm sorry.
Same
also
difference.
makes sense. No offense to y'all in Nebraska, but that also makes
Yeah,
sense.
it works. It works.
But no, I'm watching this and I'm all the powers in the world have unanimously decided. And I'm like, oh my god, Loki.
And you saw
Okay.
all the soldiers throughout, and
Uh-huh.
and at the United Nations.
I was like, if I'm
outside.
like, I'm sure at this point Odin would have been like, yeah, take the army and do whatever you want. They killed my son, and so he takes the entire armies of Asgard, and literally just takes over Earth, easy peasy. By the way,
Okay.
I'm sure it was.
Oh
a
yeah, I mean, without the Avengers, who
Mhm.
can stop them?
I mean, because I'm sure Captain
An
Marvel was like, look,
opportunist.
she's like, I can't stop an entire planet. like, so
Like the Destroyer alone. Like,
Gonna give her. I mean,
That's gonna be a fun fight. I mean, she'll win, but it'll be.
I'm
a
sure
fun fight.
I'm sure it would have been a hell of a fun thing to watch her like kind of fight Asgard, literally.
yeah.
It's a lot. So
Steve, what did you think?
yeah.
I enjoyed it. What was cool about that was it was the same way how you said that it was in front of the United Nations using the Black Panthers basically saying T'Challa's same word speech, but he was using the same words from when in Thor: Dark World, but it was just in a darker tone. Like it was like, oh, okay.
Wasn't those lines from the first Avengers movie?
Oh yeah, that makes
Was
more
it the
sense.
first Avengers or was it?
I think it was first.
Yeah, the
Avengers, wasn't it?
bright
Oh,
lure
okay.
of freedom and all
Yeah.
of that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Avengers.
It was whichever. But it was when he
Chat,
was
you guys can
making
correct me if I'm wrong.
I
Yeah,
think
it
it was.
everybody-
But
Yeah, I
You
am
know, I don't
Loki
know.
of Asgard, and I'm burdened with glorious
Mhm.
purpose and all of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gives a abridged version of that speech at the end.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's still using the T'Challa's format, and it's like it's so twisted. It's like, and it's like I said, of course, to me the best episode of the season, you get Loki, and it's like the little principles that he's given in there and the little content that he's giving you, because he in a sense he kind of took over the whole second half of the show. At the first half of the show, it was definitely the Nick Fury episode, and then the second half of the show, it kind of turned into this Loki show. And I was like, oh, okay, he took over again.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with you. Like, Odin's a conqueror, bro. Like, he literally subjugated the entire 9 realms and called it peace. Like,
he was like, "Hey, we got peace now. I did it."
he used Hela to kill trillions to subjugate the 9 realms to call it peace, and then decided to change his mind.
I took care of everything. It's done now. All the riffraff is gone, so it's quiet. I'm gonna go take a nap. Literally.
Right. But it was a fun episode. I really did enjoy it. Again, Prince Loki now became King Loki of Earth. Just that easy. Even the dialogue. He's like, "Hey, wait, Pryor." He's like, "You know what? That talk about allies. Let's revisit that convo. I think I might extend my stay. How long is your stay?" The world is mine. Oh, okay. All right. Nick Fury, what you gonna do? Let me Captain America. I should where you. What's up? How you doing, Cap?
I got a popsicle and a reality stone. That's it.
I love how he said, "Welcome back, Cap," as he wipes the ice and his Marvel behind him. I was like, "Oh, you got the double caps."
Dude,
oh, yeah.
what?
Let's save the world. Let's save the world for sure. You should have gone to these two first, but hey.
So now that we're at that part, who else at this current time, because this is like 2011-ish, right? Who else could he pick up as an Avenger? So we got Captain Marvel, Steve Rogers, Captain America. I mean, I guess he can find Sam Wilson because he's around.
T'Challa potentially, or somebody.
Yeah, I guess
Killmonger, or just Black Panther in general, whoever it is at the time.
Right.
Yeah, whichever Black Panther.
The ancient one, because I'm sure he would know about her.
You think?
I'm sure he would have. I'm sure he would try. Because I'm like thinking of the most powerful people they're aware of on the planet. Ancient one at the time.
Yeah. Chat, let me know who you guys think would be the alternate Avengers.
Low key, we could have had characters from outside of space based off of Cap Marvel's travels. She could have probably recommended some people.
Also true. She probably could have brought a gang back. I mean, she would have brought the Alpha Squad with her. Wouldn't she?
Yeah, she could have.
So, because I don't think you can get Scarlet Witch at this time.
No. Yeah, no, you can't.
Because it's 2011, so this
it's way before the events of Ultron, and she's still basically
So you don't
just a couple years, like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, you ain't got a Spider-Man yet.
No, don't have.
But you get T'Challa, and that's
But here's the thing.
That ain't no bad.
If things are still going the same way, T'Challa, I mean, we're to assume that Loki also subjugated Wakanda.
I mean, he
said every nation.
He also goes and grabs Bucky, I'm sure.
Bucky is still is still brainwashed. He's still the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I'm sure he would find a way. Like this.
But when Steve gets out of the ice, I'm sure the same events would play out where it snaps his memory and
would have to wait. Definitely would have to wait.
All we're saying is it ain't many people he got.
Well, know what?
Loki subjugating the planet eliminates Project Insight and stops Hydra. Just saying.
So true.
Yeah, because I was like,
does it stop it or slow it down?
I think it slows it down, but then you have the thing where you could have some villains.
That's what I was thinking.
Up too, but then I'm like Zemo. Well, MCU Zemo.
Well, Zemo wouldn't exist in this.
Yeah, because his reasoning wouldn't have happened.
There's nobody to create Ultron.
Right, yeah. There's no one to create Ultron. There's no one to destroy Sokovia. That's a great point.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of what villains at this point. You don't.
I mean, like even down the line, you don't even get Riri because she's not inspired by Iron Man.
She's not.
And you don't get Strange until later.
Yeah, you don't get Strange until way later. Yeah.
I guess Hammer. You get someone from Hammer Industries. You recruit Hammer Industries.
Justin Hammer? Oh no!
I mean, it's not gonna work.
Rockwell, and I love that character because he's hilarious. But he ain't gonna go get Justin Hammer. Maybe he does because it's like, hey, I need somebody.
Yeah. If the best I can do is the Dollar General Tony Stark, I'll do that.
Ghost's dad, the dude who worked with Pym.
Yeah, I can't remember. Ben
played by
Ben?
Fishburne. Is
Yeah,
it Ben? Yeah, it's Ben.
it was Dr. Foster, I think. It's something
like
Foster, I think, something like that.
So
Yeah,
I think
but
you
yeah,
get that. I
potentially-
think you end up getting Ant-Man anyway. Honestly, because I'm pretty sure they go scoop up all his stuff.
I'm just gonna say this.
We get Scott anyway.
Is Daredevil available? Is this when we
I
bring
mean,
in the
we
Hell's
get,
Kitchen?
we
Technically,
get Luke
yeah.
Cage, we get Jessica, we get I mean,
Do we bring in the Iron Fist?
I'm assuming we
Yeah.
do get Iron Fist.
Yeah, why not?
Does,
They were around.
does the real Mandarin decide to step in?
They better hope not. The real Mandarin show up everybody in trouble. I'm gonna be real honest.
I mean,
real 10 rings?
would
No,
the real
that's
Mandarin allow Loki to take over the world like this?
No.
That's also a really good point. Like, so we're assuming that Loki also defeated the Mandarin.
Fair enough.
Because he says all nations, right? And Sam brought it up in chat. So Wakanda didn't go public until after the events of Civil War, right? And Black Panther. So was Loki even able to find Wakanda is the question.
Good.
That's what I was wondering. That's what I was wondering because they did keep themselves hidden purposely.
Yeah.
Like, no traces really.
It wasn't until the events of Civil War that they decided to reveal themselves, right?
It wasn't until
Black Panther.
Ultron. It wasn't until Ultron that we knew of Wakanda in the first place because of Cloud. Which
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, until Claw, yeah.
Till Claw,
yeah, so maybe they didn't even find Wakanda.
Maybe not. They
Because it's
probably
so
were
well
like,
hidden.
see, this is why we ain't told nobody about it.
right? This is exactly why we didn't tell
Which
anyone.
means that the Mandarin probably could be, in the cut, and it's like, oh, I mean, it's that at that point, that's like, hey, we got to make a deal with the devil. But hey, it's the devil rather than the devil that just popped up, right? So let's get the Mandarin and call him an Avenger, and then we'll deal with the repercussions afterwards. We'll deal with the repercussions afterwards.
Do you think that the Mandarin's really going to go help them? No.
It's one of those things where it's kind of like, hey, I benefit by joining, but
Now
wait. I'm assuming Namor is still chilling too.
Namor's like, oh yeah, they doing their own thing unless they come mess with my stuff.
Namor, I mean, you gonna have to confront him.
That's literally him. He's
Yeah,
like, unless
but-
you come messing with my stuff, I don't care.
Yeah.
I can see Loki unknowingly messing, and Namor like, all right, now I gotta
At some
step
point,
I
in.
would
maybe.
love that. Atlantis versus Asgard?
And
yeah.
I kind of feel like Atlantis got the home field advantage there, bud.
Yeah, they do.
So all you need to do is just bring Namor out so he can start whooping people's ass.
Listen,
real quick.
Namor is such you talk about assholes that are just like arrogant and strong and win when they don't need to. That's
I can't wait to get more Easter eggs because we've only gotten one Namor Easter egg.
Mm-hmm. I bet you there's one in Shang-Chi.
What was it?
In Age of Ultron. No, was it? No, was it Age of Ultron? Yeah. So in
it's in one of the Avengers. I know for sure.
Yeah, when Hulk
it's
escapes, right? Yeah, so in Age of Ultron, when Hulk escapes, Nick Fury says that we got a signal from something in the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But we know from Ragnarok that the Quinjet is actually on Sakaar.
Mm-hmm.
So that technology,
Space.
had to be from something under the water, Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
But then the second Easter egg is what Okoye said too about like there's tremors off the coast. Right.
Yes,
That's what they're doing. So
that's the one I was thinking about. Yep.
Yeah, that's so we've gotten two
Right, you're right.
Easter eggs relating to Atlantis, which is like just give me Namor.
Do y'all think that we're gonna get Namor in Black Panther 2 fighting Wakandans without T'Challa?
Nah.
I think originally maybe.
I bet that was probably in the plan.
Yeah.
But now probably not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think so at all because, right, this is the first time we're going to see Wakanda post Endgame. We have to deal with all of that stuff. Literally the people that got dusted that came back. Mm-hmm. What does this mean for the hierarchy of Wakanda?
What happened? What did they do to progress when everybody got snapped?
Right.
So, yeah.
And then with Riri in there, we're going to be focusing on like the T'Challa's Science Institute and all of this stuff. They're not going to introduce Namor.
Yeah,
they're
basically focusing that on the younger generation to bring them up. I feel like in this movie, but also just kind of like I absolutely see a lot of see what happened when we opened up our borders. Like stuff like that's gonna be like. I feel like we're gonna get a lot.
Right.
Of that, I think.
We need to talk about that too. Like, what has Wakanda done since they've opened the borders? Like, yeah. So that's what
Which is why, you know, as sad as the loss of T'Challa is, there's still perfect opportunity.
There's still so much stuff in Wakanda.
Yeah, exactly.
There's still like Wakanda has its like there have been whole comics about literally Wakanda that don't have T'Challa in them.
And in this case, your hand was forced.
I hope we get the Midnight Angels in this. Like, please. Okay. Please. That would be sick. Especially with Riri.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She repurposes Midnight Angel armor. Bro.
Oh my god.
It would be. So, hey, you know,
I'm
looking
no
forward to
flowers because Killmonger's killed all the flower buds.
Yep. I mean, unless they had a backup stash.
They probably have.
There is no way that flower only grows in one spot. I do not believe.
I'm sure.
In all of Wakanda.
Think about it. I'm sure there is some shaman out in the African Sahara, the safari, that just has it out there, just chilling. Like, hey, I protect these because I know that I worship best the Panther God, and so I protect these for him.
Mind you, too, we could just get another one from a different multiverse. Just reintroduce it that way.
Because I'm thinking, okay, you lose T'Challa for 5 years, so you have nobody with the power of the Panther, and then no flowers because they're all destroyed. So I'm like, how do they survive?
And that's why I'm excited to see this movie. I'm like, what do they do?
But they can also retcon it too.
Their tech is still way more advanced than anything. Yeah. I mean, in Black Panther, I mean, the war dogs were going to take over entire countries. Like, you don't necessarily need it.
Killmonger even says it. He's like, bro, y'all got the tools to take over the world right here. Save black people everywhere.
One spear can take out tanks, bro. Like, come on.
Killmonger said, y'all can save black people all over the world, and y'all ain't doing nothing.
Because the villain can't be too OP.
Nah,
that's where you need a
black. It could be internal conflict. It could be internal conflict. That's what we'll get.
I mean, but given the most recent news with Shuri's actress getting hurt in some stuff.
Letitia Wright.
Oh yes,
there is a chance that we do get her as Black Panther.
She's absolutely doing something because she's doing a
exactly.
Stuff
she
like
doing some stunts like that.
I think it would be a mistake if they don't make her the new Black Panther. I think it would be a mistake. M'Baku doesn't need it. He is well off on his own. There's no one else.
Anybody knows about M'Baku,
he has a whole storyline. Yeah,
he wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
Literally.
And I mean, he
that would be
Black
him.
Panther.
That would be him betraying his tribe.
Right.
And you don't do that.
Because keep it. This is why I said they could also retcon the origin that you don't need the flowers because of Bastet. You can tap more into the mystical lore.
The actual Panther God stepping
in
and selecting a successor and connecting them to their ancestors.
So the plan is no longer important.
You are right. Exactly. You don't need the plan. It was just a medium.
Yeah. I wanna bring up what Spicy's talking about. Do you guys think that Wakanda allowed for like immigration to have like people like actually studying in Wakanda? Or do you think they just opened up facilities outside of Wakanda?
I bet you they started like a sponsor, like a scholarship program for like the young gifted Black folks in America, and they bring them to Wakanda. So like it's the once in a lifetime thing. We get to go to Wakanda and study, bro. Yeah.
Go to Shuri's lab, like.
Which is why again the loss of Chadwick Boseman forced their hand to be like, all right, we can't just rely on Black Panther, and fortunately for them, they had set themselves up for where they can do this storyline. Yeah. Because with how number one ended like, we're going to build facilities in Oakland. Shout out to Oakland, by the way. You know, I'm in the area now, my new home. Shout out to y'all. Yes, you can do that and then expand upon that. Like y'all said, facilities across the world, but also a study abroad program, a foreign exchange program. It makes the most sense. I would explain how Riri ends up there. I think that's the best way. Bring Riri to Wakanda on a student visa.
I hope that Riri does kind of get a little bit more of a shine in this movie, to be completely honest, because it's the perfect time to start building up her character. It's the perfect time. Like, this is like a ripe opportunity.
And again, they probably wouldn't have done that if Boseman was still alive.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sure they would have done, like, it would have been like a cameo, like a thing where Riri shows up, but like, now she gets more of a focus. And they get to build up this whole new character and have a Black woman lead in future Marvel movies. Like, that's going to be big. That's gonna be big.
I think this is how she gets the tech to make her own suit. Like whatever the institute is, it has like grants and like.
I mean, we've seen that Wakanda can build anything, bro.
Yeah.
We've seen it. So I can't wait.
Yeah, man. Yeah, can't wait for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Can't wait for the rest of What If. Like, any final thoughts on What If before we wrap up for the night on this episode?
We didn't talk about Black Widow, the fight scene in the truck.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a pretty cool scene.
And I was going to ask you guys,
Thank you,
what
Steve.
was the better fight scene? That fight scene or the Captain
Carter for sure.
Captain Carter?
Captain Carter.
You think
Ass.
I was
sorry.
loving Black Widow.
Captain Carter is still. I think it's still like it gave the T'Challa episode a run for its money for me because I love the energy of Captain Carter. It was so good
because she was battling misogyny. We all love battling.
I mean,
misogyny.
she was also perfect for the job. Like it showed you,
was.
she was legitimately perfect for it.
Yeah.
And she was fine as hell. You know,
Steve was just a white boy with heart.
Right. She was actually trained for this. She could do this. And when old boy was like, they brought a woman out, and then you get your leg broken and get kicked in the balls and knocked out like that. Boy, that was so satisfying.
I laughed so hard.
To Ray's point, right? She was an even better candidate because she was already physically capable, and then it just made her more of who she already is.
Exactly. And she was trained. She was a strategist. She could have done all of it.
Plus the dialogue too.
Yep.
She had the personality to nothing against Steve Rogers, but Steve Rogers is a
wonderful person
man.
that he turns into a better man.
Yeah, but Captain Carter, she had no problem giving you sass. She had no problem, and I like that in a woman who can whoop ass. Give me some sass. Show that passion.
I loved her scene where she jumps through the airplane. No, the helicopter, and it was rotating.
Yes.
So I was like, was that a better scene than that Black? Well, I know the camera work definitely is a better scene, but I was like, what is that a better ass whooping than the Black Widow ass whooping?
I mean, the Black Widow ass whooping was still.
It was really good.
It was
really
good. Because she was giving hands in the back.
That gave the elevator scene a run for its money. You ask me.
Yes. But the Captain Carter scene was just because of the build up to it. Like, it was just like, you can't do this, and then you see her doing this and more and better than anything we've ever seen. Like,
and then Steve
never did it like this.
Then she killed Cthulhu, bro. Yeah, so
she got it. Yeah, so until further notice, that is the most satisfying. We'll see. Hey, you know what? Maybe Killmonger can give us something. Maybe Killmonger can give us a nice run in terms of fighting. Who knows? Who knows?
I'm gonna enjoy seeing that side of Killmonger when it finally comes up.
Same.
Sam brings up something really cool. What if Killmonger becomes king and saves Tony Stark because T'Chaka never killed his dad? What if that's the? What if that's the?
So we'll get a more. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a more like. More passive, not passive, but more mild manner Killmonger than what we got in Black Panther, because of course he had a lot of anger in him, justifiably so.
Right.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, and that would just mean that Killmonger will become like a gun for hire, and that's exactly why he's there. He's hired as a bodyguard,
which will make you wonder, like, how did he come about this? Because if he's going to be king, well, it depends on how they set it up. Does he become king prior? And
I think it's afterwards. I think he doesn't know about Wakanda. Yeah, but I think it's afterwards.
Is he older than T'Challa?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
He's the eldest.
Yeah.
So he'd have the rightful.
Yeah, he would. Because he's not the direct heir. He's not the direct heir of T'Chaka.
Well, I mean, so if T'Chaka died and his brother was still alive,
then
T'Chaka died.
Takes over. So
yeah,
it depends on what happens with T'Chaka when we see this episode.
That's what
dead already, or is he still?
So
alive?
What if he kills T'Chaka instead?
What if he kills T'Chaka? What if he and like Sam is saying, right? What if he kills T'Chaka and continues to let out the Wakandan weapons out into the world?
Okay, so we're basically still keeping MCU Black Panther Killmonger's personality, just a different motivation. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
One where his dad wasn't murdered.
So he's not as ruthless, but he's still motivated. Yeah.
If the Wakandan weapons and tech is out there, and Tony Stark has,
they would have one of the best like private military, companies.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, what if Tony is attacked by Wakandan tech? And then Killmonger saves him trying
because
to
he's
collect.
out there getting that.
Exactly.
I was thinking something like they
That's
teaming
it.
up, and then
Thank
Tony
you.
Stark
Thank
instead of
you.
his Iron Man is just a Wakandan suit.
So, random question, just to ponder: do you think that we get the true White Tiger?
I mean, I don't know because I've already seen him in the suit. I've already seen him because he's as King Killmonger. He's in the black and gold suit from Black Panther.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. He could do
Oh
a
no,
costume change.
Which is
not in
why
terms of
I think
Killmonger,
his
but in
dad
terms
was the
of
Black Panther before
the
him because then he
actual
dons the
character.
gold.
Oh,
in
gotcha.
homage.
Maybe.
Or is it White Lion? No, it's White Tiger, right?
White Wolf.
In the White Wolf. I keep changing my animals. Do you think we get a true?
You're thinking of Red Lion from DC.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is essentially a what if. So I mean, maybe.
I just hope, because like I didn't like the idea of them referring to Bucky as White Wolf. I was like, no, because I like the White Wolf storyline as this is the half brother of Black Panther and how we go about it and that dichotomy. So I would like to see him be like, hey, let's actually give you a real version. And not saying that you drop that into the Killmonger episode, because at that point you're just adding too much. I think you're adding too much players for too many threats to the throne at that point. Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen. But in a possible what if, let's get a real White Wolf.
Yeah, I'd love that, man. I think that'd be dope.
However they do this is this has been really good. and people keep saying that they're getting better every episode. Like the people that have early access, they were like, it got better every episode. And I just can't, I don't know what else they can do. So it's just like,
they can do a lot. Dude,
I know they can do a lot,
we
but I'm just
still
like,
haven't gotten the Vision episode where he's wearing Ultron armor with the Infinity Stones in the armor.
Why'd you tell me that? I didn't know that happened.
It's on a poster. It's on the promo material.
Wait, do you think they'll
excited.
give us the true creator of Ultron? We might see.
Yes.
You think they'll do that instead of
Yes.
giving it to Tony still?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they make it
so.
together. That's
What if
Okay.
Hank created Ultron? That's what we're gonna get. Or what if Hank created Vision first, and then like I don't know.
Oh, actually, so it's Ultron in the perfect body, and that's why he's got the stones. It's Ultron. It's not Vision.
So you
like,
think
what
it's
if-
straight up Ultron?
It's
And
what
he
if Ultron got the
successfully
body?
transferred-
Exactly.
Hey, you know what? Here's why I like that idea too, because so far in the MCU, they've done a good job of correcting past
Because
mistakes.
that
And
would
Ultron
be
was a
the
big mistake.
worst villain for them to have is Ultron got that perfect body.
Yeah,
That's so right.
I like this.
Because then with the connection to the stone, he would be able to find the rest of it.
and
I think
that's
you
why
nailed it,
gotta-
bro. I think you fucking nailed it.
Now,
That's terrifying.
whatever week that becomes, Ray, you gotta hop on for that episode, baby.
I'll be here.
Yeah, dude, you have to. You
be here.
please.
I'll be here because
Ray and these damn theories.
He's
That's all I
really,
do.
really good, man.
I'm still
Really
convinced
good
that
at
Tony Stark done time traveled already.
I cannot wait.
I'm
If
convinced
they
that.
don't
I'm
confirm
Hey,
that, he came up with time travel, bro. Why wouldn't
We
he
gotta
test
wait.
it?
Yeah, the theory made a lot of sense. We'll see. I think
You think he would have took all his friends on a one-way trip without testing time travel by himself?
Yeah, you're so right, dude. He definitely tested it.
If
He
anything-
he said, I'll help, but I can't lose what I've lost. So of course he fucking tested it. I can't lose what I have. Yeah.
You think we'll probably get that confirmation by Ant-Man 3? You think if that
actually
case to be
don't know.
confirmed?
If it's that Kang, if it's that one, like because there's one of them that met him that knows him.
Yeah.
Because remember, Thanos says some stuff about Tony that makes him think like he is known throughout the universe. So I'm like,
Well, I mean, he knew that the stones were on Earth, so he's studying any of the threats that could get in his way of getting the stones that are on
think
Earth.
about it. The aliens are much smarter than us, bro.
Right.
So they've probably been seeing what's the biggest threat on Earth.
Right.
Tony Stark is one of them. So,
Just because of his mind and what he was willing to do.
I mean, since they made him Hank Pym and Tony Stark, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about highly favored in MCU.
Oh,
Until we get
absolutely.
Reed Richards, and then it'll be like, all right, guys.
I'm actually really curious to see how they're going to do Reed.
Yeah.
That is going to be interesting to see. So, because Reed is not necessarily a likable person.
No,
so
it's
we
not.
gonna see.
Yeah.
And so far, he's always been likable. Fox made him likable.
I hope that I hope it's that Doom is the more likable one, and Reed is like, oh, why do we like you? And then we have to grow to like Reed. Yeah, bro, that'd be lit.
Yeah. That'd be really sick, man. What
Steve
if
came back looking like the Red Hulk? What happened?
Right?
Well, no, my camera. I finally noticed that my camera was frozen. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, my bad.
And
Yeah,
I
I texted the group chat. I was like, "You're frozen."
So yeah, I pressed stop and I re-put it, and I'm like right here on the camera. I'm like,
Hey, I just
yeah.
want to say these fake shades look real good on me, baby. I really like it. I think I'm
You
gonna rock
that
these every
filter
episode.
is very good. I'm not.
Yeah,
gonna
you
lie.
should get a pair.
I really should.
Those
I
are
really
definitely the Doc Ock goggles for sure.
Right?
Hey, I might add that to my monikers. You know what? My AKAs is the Doc Ock of Earth. Like, what Earth is this? 2012. Let's
Something
just
like
call it
that.
Earth 2012. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. You know, what if it's been continuing to bang, and I have no doubt that it'll continue to bang every week. I've just been super satisfied as a comic book fan. Everything we're getting is exciting. You know, people have been complaining about stuff. Yes, you know, I'd say I hate Thor 3 and whatnot, but I will watch every Marvel movie that comes out just because at the end of the day they tell a story, and I'm here for the story. While I had qualms about Thor 3, we got Hela, you know, and we get references. I mean, we had her helmet in the last week's episode of What If. We got Fenrir, which, hey, I'm a big fan of Fenrir, even though he was nerfed still. The Warriors 3, even though they got killed, we still got so much lore and so much activity as a comic book nerd where I can't just be like, hey, F that. I still don't like this time. I'm still happy at the end of the day. There's gonna be some misses, but there's been plenty of hits where I'm just overall satisfied. And What If is doing it for me, especially as like the first animated a project of the MCU. It's been really, really, really good. Really
Hey man, yeah, I feel you, but dibs on Hela.
That's
I
fine.
mean, you can have her. I didn't. She too thin for me a little bit. I like my woman a little thicker. You know, as I remember, she was a little too thin for me. I need more cake on that.
I bet. So when my waifu kills all y'all waifus, I don't want to hear it. Bet.
I mean, Hela versus Storm. I would love to see that.
I'm sorry, Storm.
I'm sorry, Storm.
Storm, baby. If you don't whoop that, you know what?
Do you
I'm not
remember
gonna
what
say what I
James
wanna
was
say.
saying earlier about how Odin used Hela to
Yeah.
subjugate the 9 realms?
She is the queen.
Sorry.
They
of
murdered
she's the queen of Dumbledore.
trillions
Yeah.
and called it peace. Like,
Whoops.
I think people forget that Odin was not like
Odin's
a
not a
friendly
good person.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't let Sir Anthony Hopkins fool you.
yeah,
That man was a bastard.
it's like, yeah, sure, he came to Earth to help
only-
them against the Dark Elves after he subjugated.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was,
Well, that was his father's
he only did it because he had grown as a person and realized,
Yeah.
oh, what I did was
Yeah.
wrong.
But at this point in time of this What If episode, he hasn't grown. I don't think he's grown. So
Okay, fine.
Odin would have been like, yeah, let me just run up on all these people and continue taking over. So, hey, but again, What If has been banging. Marvel, y'all been doing the damn thing. Proud of y'all. Appreciate y'all.
More, please.
Still, yeah, more. Shang-Chi drops next week. Definitely gonna see that opening
Yeah,
movie for sure.
Yeah, Rob wants to know when everyone's seeing it. I am seeing it next Thursday, right before Anime Lately, and then on Sunday again.
What day it come out?
Thursday night.
Thursday the 2nd.
The second.
I'm gonna try and see it then.
If I see it
I
Thursday
ain't
the
bought tickets
second,
yet, but I'm gonna try. I'm sure they're gonna be hard to get them around here.
I
but
mean,
we'll
at
see.
this
Yeah.
point, yeah.
I'm gonna try.
depending on the time, I might have to dip out. If I try to see it Thursday, I'd have to dip out of Anime Lately early. So I'll probably just see it Friday.
I mean, I ain't gonna be mad at you. But
Yeah.
I don't even know where a movie theater is around here. So
Oh
I'm just-
gosh.
Damn.
I just moved. I haven't found one yet, but I know it's somewhere here because the Bay takes care of its people. So I'm gonna see it on Friday for sure.
yeah.
I'll find a way. Trust me.
Yeah, man.
But as soon as I can, that's my answer.
You got until the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I
I'm gonna see
can't.
it the first weekend. I can't get spoilers.
Exactly. I don't want
I
no
gotta see it.
spoilers. You know. So.
Yeah, the things that I've already heard, like Shang-Chi has the best fight sequences out of any MCU property, period.
It better. I'm gonna be very frank with you. It better.
Yeah. I've heard from multiple sources, oh, this is like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but MCU type shit. Like, that's what I thought. Because
that's
there's
high
so many.
praise.
I
That
know,
is
right?
high praise.
Because
Yeah,
there's
that
so
is
many
high praise.
scenes. There's this one scene where Shang-Chi is training with Michelle Yeoh's character. I'm like, nigga, this looks like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And then I've heard so many people compare it. I'm like, dude, yes. Yes, let's go.
I'm sold, bro. All right, bet.
Yeah, and I've heard it has a mid-credit scene and a post-credit scene. So we are eating, bro.
I mean, we eating this year. If all these movies come out the way they're supposed to, we eating big time.
Yeah.
So that's September. Then what? Eternals is what? October?
I think so, or November.
November.
Oh, it might get pushed
mid-November.
back to next year.
It
Who
won't.
knows?
It won't.
We ain't putting that in the universe, bro. We ain't claiming that.
They already did it. I refuse to accept it, but I hope it stays the same.
Yeah, that was to get it out of the pandemic zone. They're not moving it again.
And then No Way Home in December. So that's.
But yeah, I heard the two post credit
so-
scenes are insane. Ugh.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Insane.
Yeah, I'm about it. I'm about this life. Yes, please.
Yeah, man. But yeah, this was an incredible episode. We got to talk
This was
about
a lot of fun.
we got to talk about Midnight Suns, got to talk about the No Way Home trailer, got to talk about the new What If episode, and we're gonna be talking about the next What If episode on the next episode. We're also going to be giving away a digital code for The Conjuring The Devil Made Me Do It on the next episode. So all you have to do is follow all of us here, be subscribed to Careful for Spoilers on YouTube, and yeah, that's all you need to do to be entered and show up to next week's show, and you could enter to win a code of The Devil Made Me Do It.
Ooh wee! I'll be giving away some
And
fun
trust
stuff
me,
over here.
the devil did make me do it. Let me just tell you that right now.
That's a lot. Whatever.
Because I'm like, wow! So what you trying to say, Ray? What you trying to say, Ray?
I'm not sure.
Dibs on Jennifer Walters, so that's mine now too. Thank you.
All right, bet. I don't know what else we'll be talking about besides.
He got you a freaky shorty because you know She-Hulk was about that life.
Oh, I know.
Rob, so Shang-Chi review. So it all depends on when all of us can see the movie. Vash is also very busy, and I don't want to review the movie without him if I can avoid it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it really all depends on when we do it.
Just call me, brother. I've seen it. Just call me.
Oh yeah, I will definitely call you so we can do it. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, just keep a lookout on our Twitter, and we'll let you know exactly when we'll do the review for sure. But yeah, man, I don't know exactly what we're going to do with What If next week. I just realized we're 32 episodes in and we've never actually talked about our favorite villains on the show. So next week I'm thinking we'll do What If and we'll talk about our favorite villains.
Yo, wait, hold on. Ray,
like
here's the
happiness.
thing. If we do that next week, Steve finna cuss me out because Steve been asking me for my favorite villain since like October of last year when I joined and I still never gave it.
No. I know who your favorite villain is. On our show, we ask everybody, choose a Marvel character, choose a DC character, an anime character, and a video game character to form
and I refuse.
a four-man team. And he refused to answer.
I mean,
so if I answer your question next week,
I wouldn't know.
JB, that'd be rude as hell of me. I'd be a complete jerk. So
guys, next week we're saying it on stream. We're reviewing What If, and we will be talking about our favorite comic book villains, or just villains.
I'm gonna do that. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Steve gonna be staring at me like, so you really gonna answer his question, huh?
I don't have a problem with that. You just gotta answer mine. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do an episode. We're gonna get everybody on there.
It sounds like you got a problem with it, bro.
We're gonna get everybody on there. Ray, JB, y'all can come on too. So I would love to hear y'all's answers to that question. And then we're gonna force Abe to do it. And if he doesn't do it, we'll have Black come through the back door like
It's legit been a year, and I still haven't answered this man's question.
Well, I already told chat. We've already committed. I already told chat. Sorry.
Yep, it's true.
Hey,
it's
look.
on the internet now. It's true.
Yeah, that's true. I never committed it to myself. I never agreed. I show up and then go on
committed
mute.
it for you.
Son of Darkseid, nobody speaks to Son of Darkseid. I'm just saying right now.
Darkseid
himself is the only one that can tell me what to do. Oh, that's been known. I ain't,
actually, Oh, actually, so it might not happen next week. It might happen the following week. I'm not going. Heads up for you guys. I'm not going to be on the show next week. I'm actually going to see Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan live. Don't want to miss that. Dave Chappelle is my favorite comedian of all time.
Tell me about Buff Dave. I want to see it.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
So the following
I'll
week,
be taking over.
No.
So I hope you guys are excited. It'll still be careful with spoilers. Still be the villain show, but with your favorite host, La Buru himself, and
Son of Darkseid as the host.
Man.
Oh man,
that's
gonna be a trip.
I'm gonna sit in chat, watch that one.
Vash, you better not leave me hanging.
Right?
Steve knows how I get down. Steve knows what happens when I just decide to take over shows or stuff like that. You know what? We'll have alcohol on deck too. We'll be ready to go.
I'm gonna need it.
Oh no!
What you trying to say?
You're a villain.
Exactly what he said.
a true villain at that. But yeah, guys, this was an incredible episode. I had so much fun talking to all of you guys. Ray, tell the people where they can find you online.
My name is Ray Apollo. You can find me everywhere online as Ray Apollo, and that means Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Yeah, just use those, and you'll be good. I might be reviving the website. So just one day you'll be able to type in rayapollo.com and it'll just take you there. Manga reviews in text, because I feel like that's an art that people are getting away from. And I'm like, it's faster for me to write than it is for me to shoot a video sometimes. So if I just like, I'm gonna write it out. You got to read my reviews that way. And if I want to record it,
which is why most of my movie reviews are on socials of the website.
Smart. So yeah, that's me. Hello, hi, thanks.
Steve, go.
Oh,
Yeah, I realized I was on mute. I thought you heard me.
I was like, what did JB say? Yeah, you can follow me, Scuba Steve 1428 on Instagram, Twitter, and follow the Inside the Mind of a Blerd page. Follow the Linktree, because it basically will take you to the Blerd shop. It'll show you to the links of the Mind Knocker Mixer and everybody else that's on our podcast. Get some of that merch that Abe is wearing right there. Also, it'll show you the link to our YouTube channel, where we also have the Scholar and Scuba Steve podcast, where it's me and my daughter. So, yep.
Abe?
Look, ladies and gentlemen, is Anikulapo himself, La Buru, the Jin of Darkseid, the Jin of Apocalypse, son of Darkseid, Kang variant. Look, y'all can go to my Linktree. It's in the bio. Follow Inside the Mind of a Blerd. Definitely check out the Ocean 8 podcast. Anime Lately, careful for spoilers. As you can see, I look like an actual streamer now. As
Portal Squad member.
New digs, new place. I'm up in the Bay now. And I've always been saying like, hey, I'm gonna get back to stream. You're gonna be able to see my face. And ladies and gentlemen, that is absolutely correct. The only thing that I just need to find amongst my belongings where I put the power cord. Definitely after this, the homie, my roommate, my big brother, Black Hole Player, will be streaming tonight. His birthday is tomorrow, so if he's streaming, he has his camera on, you will see me at some point barge into his room and telling him to take shots live, or I might just go look for a power cord and
that's
hop
against
on
the law.
with him. Yeah. I will take shots. I don't know. You'll see us. You'll see me tonight on his stream. So definitely go check to do that. And of course, just follow all of us here. Appreciate all of you. Love all of you. Love everybody we got supporting us. Shout out to Spicy Lady Gaming. Definitely make sure you follow her on Twitch.
Yeah, boy.
Follow her on Twitter, Spicy Lady Entertainment as well. Again, Anime Lately, careful for spoilers, Inside the Mind of a Blerd. Ocean 8 podcast. Yeah, boy is involved in everything. Like I love to say, I am inevitable.
Yeah, man, you guys can follow me all over social media at JB Exclusive, and of course, see the number 4 spoilers. Make sure you guys follow every single one of these amazing creators. I am blessed to be in the same space as them, and I love making content with them. Before we made Villains, I was like, how do I find co-hosts? I want to find co-hosts. I didn't want to start a show and just do it by myself. And again, I am blessed to have found the greatest co-host I could have asked for. So I really, really appreciate you guys. You can find all of our content, everything you want to know, merch, Patreon exclusive items, Patreon exclusive podcasts. You can find all of that at carefulforspoilers.com. And yeah, so for the entire crew, the council, myself, we'll see you guys on the next one.